Oh, that was a lot louder than I expected.
What?
Okay.
Noise?
Yeah, it was just a lot louder than I expected. Hi, everybody.
I am on top. Sorry, you said it wasn't.
Hi, everybody. How we all doing today? Doing well? So, just as a reminder to everybody, Jake is got the vid. You know what I'm saying? Jake's got the vid, and I don't mean vid underscore 999. I mean maybe he wishes, but bro, that's like a hike. Doing okay over there, Jake?
Yeah, I'm good, buddy.
Now, have you used any hydrochloroquine, or did you use any intravenous bleach? Seeing like
Well, you know, it was a big consideration, but after many days dwelling on that, I decided to go against that.
horse tranquilizer though. You went with the horse tranquilizer.
You don't want your ivermectin?
Of course.
Yeah. You
Actually,
did, okay.
it's the UV light suppository is what you need.
Yeah, like Blade.
that deep
I saw
cleansing.
it in Blade. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. They had it Underworld too. Yeah, totally a thing.
Oh god, I was supposed to write questions now.
So anyways, chat, coming into a session that we haven't played in a long while, we have a few things we have to jump right into. First of all, someone has to remind me where we were. It's been a hot minute. Second of all, the party leveled, and they're not 100% done, including rolling for HP. So we're going to work our way through that. But also third and most important, this is where chat comes in. Feel free to we can make this a vote if need be. Stell asked me a question about his boy toy. And I couldn't come to a full conclusion on my own because I wasn't sure how I felt about the balance on this one. And he didn't know I was going to ask you guys until just now. Since Anno's not here to push the opposition, I figured to save time for Cell. So would you like to ask them what you asked me about your boy toy?
My question was if Naito could take the feat that lets you be a general and a warlord, a ruler, and if he could just do consort and a general, as consort is just like in terms of game mechanics, is just a ruler when the ruler's not there. So in concept, it would just be the same thing, but he doesn't apply his full bonus. I thought it would make sense because it's fulfilling the same role. It wouldn't make sense if you could be in like the position we have for consular or whatever, not consular, curator, because that wouldn't make sense, right? But since it's the consort position that fills for ruler, I thought it would make sense.
Yeah. No, I get it. I mean, he's already your general. You're just asking them to legalize incest with your brother.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's actually the heir position, but I'd probably change it.
You want your brother to be your consort, and you know, I want you concubine sibling.
Hey, listen, okay.
You know, that's cool. Your sister's already married, so you figure there's an opportunity here.
Well, my brother's actually married too, actually, isn't he?
Not yet. No, there was a conversation.
Sure, I can just take it.
Yeah.
He's got the heir, right? And he's just going to rule when Cell's not there, right? So when are you actually ruling your clan? So I'm just for clarity.
For chat, I was saying consort just to say what the mechanical name of the position is in base Kingdom Maker, right? Just so everyone was clear on what I was talking about. The position wouldn't be called consort. That'd be ridiculous. I just want to make that clear. This is just so the rules would transfer relatively easily.
So more or less, the poll's gonna say, does Shado allow incest? Yes or no?
You know, if that's what you want to.
I mean, I don't know if I'm allowed to put incest in a poll. They have certain words
Probably
they don't
not. Shut up, Viking. Okay, it's not even true.
Dude,
All right,
Viking's summing it up hard.
All right, I don't want to hear it. It looks like chat's in a general agreement, except not making it named consort because incest.
I'm about to make a poll for you.
Naito, Uwu. Yes, Viking.
Testo.
I like Testo. That one's great.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna do a poll. It's a 1-minute poll starting right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, doesn't. That's funny.
Test of the limits. Did you put bad words in it? Well, the poll crashed.
There we go. Oh, I got it. There you go. I transposed 2 words. I had to switch the C and the S. Otherwise, it didn't meet Twitch guidelines.
That's hilarious. I agree with the third option personally as well, but that's not relevant to the question.
I don't have 2 votes, sadly. So it looks like
Agreement, Jake and kids get well.
yeah. And this is a hard push for yes. Everybody goes all in on yes now.
But you know, when we're considering the 2 parts of the question that matter, a yes won by a margin of infinity because
No, it's not a fair poll. We have to do a fresh poll just to make sure it's legit. All right, let's try this again.
Oh my god, just what are you doing? This is unfair. I think chat will do it just for the meme potential now at this point.
All right, ready?
We'll change his little icon to be, instead of the general one, to be the consort one.
There you go. Go ahead, guys. You can vote for that one.
Plot twist, Tesla and Knights are step bros. Jorman is captain now. I can't wait to announce what happens to Jorman.
Uh-oh.
I have to wait till I get great renown for it to happen though.
Waiting for it. Meanwhile, I hope you guys are finishing up your leveling up, Nick.
So
I'm trying to figure out why my animal companion was a level behind me in the first place. What is was that a thing, or is that just me not verifying?
Maybe not verifying a detail. Usually, having an
Yeah.
animal companion negatively impacts your leadership score.
No, it negatively impacts. You can't get
Your
a
cohort.
cohort.
It negatively impacts your cohort level,
Yeah.
not your.
Not your leadership score, which is a bit different. Okay. cool.
Lightning
Thank you,
Dragon
chat.
single-handedly made yes happen.
I approve of you, LD.
Like legit, single-handedly make there that's 6 votes, and there were 6 on yes. LD made it a yes. Everybody else said German is captain now. So I want you to only say nice things about LD for the rest of the session. Okay?
Yeah, I mean LD is
Top tier, right?
yeah, he is.
Mhm.
Except when rolling D100s, I'll never let him do that again.
LD, can you go ahead and roll me a D100? If you roll above a 33, Sel will say another nice thing about you. If you roll below a 10, he will say a horrible thing about you.
These stats aren't in favor of me, but this is okay. Impressive, LD. This is the first time we've rolled high.
I said you say a nice thing.
That was nice.
Not
This is
state of
impressive.
fact.
You know, LD, you got a lovely bald head. Wait, it's not bald anymore, is it? Never mind.
The transplants worked. That's right.
I don't know, dude. You know, I won't completely derail the game on Tuesday. How about that? That's my nice thing. It'll be in the future.
All right. So as much as I'd love to chat with you guys, because I miss you, 1, we haven't played in 2 weeks, and 2, Jake doesn't talk much anyways. So might as well get into the session.
Want me to start
Rolling
saying what happened
H.
last?
Actually, no. I want Jake to roll HP, and then you can give us a fill-in. Jake, you want to roll HP first? Chat reminder:
Yes,
8 of the
roll.
Martyr allows for a reroll. You can cause a reroll even if they roll good, and you want them to roll poorly. Kiwi power.
Is that true? I thought we've argued that you can accept it if you want it.
I've never argued that.
I've argued this heavily.
You rolled
That's
boring.
good for me.
That's completely average. He probably wants a reroll on that one.
No, I'm good with the 8 as well.
A 6 out of 10? You're okay with
Yeah.
a 6 out of 10?
That's
I'm
average.
very
Jake,
okay with it, man.
Jake, you're at least
Yo.
a 7.8 out of 10. You know what I
I
mean?
agree.
Like, and you're gonna
Either
settle for
10.
a 6?
Jake's
You
a
gotta
10
climb
out
that
of 10.
ladder, baby.
What does consort take? It's charisma.
No one else has argued that, Cell. I agree.
I've always argued it.
I'm just waiting for somebody to give you an 8 of the martyr there, Jake. Cell, you can roll whenever you'd like.
Sure. It's probably gonna be low.
I'm assuming it's
good.
Rosin giving you the 8. Do not give him 8 of the martyr. Do not give him 8 of the martyr.
I said it was gonna be low, dude. I'm like, it's probably gonna be low. Oof.
You know what, Cell, you're number 1.
I mean, no, I'm number 2.
Yeah, because you're shit.
True.
So, Nick can attest to something that transpired yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. You weren't here Saturday. I had more people in my office yesterday than I have ever had. It was like a crazy amount of people. What happened was my sister came over with one of her 3 kids, and she was clearly sitting there in the same room she first walked into, like when she first walked into the house, and was like clearly like time had passed and she was still sitting there and uncomfortable. So I was like, Amanda, can I show you my dungeon? And she was like, sure, and got up immediately, like right off with me. So we're downstairs having fun. We're just like the 2 of us chatting. I never see my sister. We never talk. We're always very busy, very opposite lives. She lives far enough away that we just don't see each other. We're chatting, having fun, and all of a sudden people started filtering in. And it got to the breaking point for her where she was like, nope, and like left. And then we were in the office, like at least I was stuck down there for like over an hour. And it was so nice.
Oh,
So nice.
wait, did Viking give me a aid? Or did you
So
just say love me?
you got an aid from Ash, and Viking gave 1 to Jake. And we're waiting for Nick to roll still.
Oh god! All right, I'm rolling. I
I'm
guess.
still leveling up my people.
I'm rolling a 1 again.
Let's Cell roll first.
Oh, I rolled an 8. Let's go.
All right,
I
come
really
on, Jake.
needed that.
I was really happy with an 8, and the connection internet.
Jake, it came from True Blue. You know that this is gonna go well.
I feel like you don't want it to go well.
No, it's going to go well. You're gonna roll a 9.
You want me to roll?
Go ahead, man.
Thanks, bro.
Welcome.
No, wait,
sis.
hey, Viking is arguing in chat.
All right, he really likes that 8. No, yeah, you were for Tesla, but Ash did Tesla first, and Ash wasn't going to use the second one. And Tesla wasn't going to use the second one. So we let Jake have it, and Nick is just dragging feet because he still hasn't leveled his character.
Yes, the roll.
But in Nick's defense, I will defend Nick on one thing. While he didn't level his character, him and I were on the phone on Wednesday, and he explicitly said to me, "Hey Scott, I have some important stuff about Naren to talk to you about. Let me know when you have time." And I was like, "Actually, I probably have some time today. Let me call you back in probably like 30 minutes. That sounds good." He's like, "Sure." And next time he heard from me was Sunday when he came to my house. So
Yes, and I talked to Scott for about 5 minutes, and he said, "Oh, by the way, here's my mom," and I was stuck talking to his mom the whole time, so he didn't have to.
Whoa. That did not transpire. She just gravitates to you.
It's my charming personality.
Yep.
So I feel lucky that I rolled a 5 and not a 2, so I'm happy. I'm not a greedy guy. So we'll go there. I still got to roll for Nabu and Zara.
So who wants to give Naren that 8 of the martyr because he rolled crap?
I mean, for Nick's standard, that's pretty good. No, I don't. That's fine.
Somebody has.
I'm not going to sit here and beg and scrape like some people.
I didn't even do anything. Wait, I was
Sure. I mean, guilty conscience speaks first. That's fine.
What? I didn't even say anything. I just said, what?
I'm done with you, Scott. What? Could have saved it for Nick. Besides, True Blue kept it real. You kept it on Jake. Jake still got his 8.
Chat revolt. I expect the revolution.
Is it revolution? Viking just stands on a hill, rising up, Victory Brewery in his hand.
I think I have 1 HP above average. No, wait. Never mind. I can't math. Never mind. Ignore me.
Perfectly fine.
I have 8 HP above average right now. That's pretty good.
Commatory is D10 as well. Totally forgot about that.
Besides,
We'll
I
roll-
did not do anything as shameless as shove my mom on Nick or Nick on my mom, okay? Instead, all I did was crap on Jen the entire time. Poor Jen.
So-
You did.
So
Oh,
Fire.
man, I went hard in the paint on Jen. Jen was sitting there having a pleasant conversation with my mother-in-law. And then she's like, what is he saying over there? And then when she thought it was over, oh, and she still spent the night, by the way. She was like, yeah, okay, I'll spend another night. I was like,
Oh, you guilted her into that point. Now she had to drive to New York. What, first thing in the morning, or?
yeah, she got up at 5 in the morning and left at by 5:30 a.m. But that was her choice because she could take her first conference call while driving, so she could like work while she could make it like a productive drive.
It was her choice. There was no peer pressure involved at all.
Nah,
So half
Jen's immune to
charisma.
peer pressure.
All right. So Naito will add 2 to loyalty next month when he's in the position.
Okay, and now
Was
hey,
that
Joey.
real horse, Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does Joey want to roll for
I
Zara?
said horse,
since
but
he's
you know what I mean.
filter?
Does we want to roll for what?
Joey, you want to roll for Zara? 1d10.
Oh, sure. Go ahead, Joey. You can roll for Zara. I'm 100% fine with that.
Well, he did all the work for her characters.
Hey, Joey! You trying to tell me that Zara or Zora, whatever her name
I'm
is,
gonna
is better
take it.
than Nick? I think he really does need
Oh,
that
by
aid.
far. She speaks less.
That's funny.
Victory Brewery until death.
Okay, so summing up the last time we played, because I don't think I remember it. Actually, I do. It was the worm session,
Well,
wasn't it?
didn't you see what Viking wrote in chat?
Did you?
Yeah,
Where?
which is a pretty good start of a reminder. Yeah, let me scroll up a minute. He goes, Naren had a cool moment with the armless lad. Varix chopped some dude's head off. Really cool. Pissing off Testel's baby council. Kushibashi rep left Shado. Shado huffed and said they were better off anyways. Pretty much. Like prima donna.
Whoa, okay.
Much?
I told Nara
He says
to leave.
Naito has run Shado since the start. Prove me wrong.
Yeah. Okay. You know, Viking, I thought, you were friends with me, but apparently not. Never mind.
Naito
okay?
plus Testel equals
Oh.
Testo.
I mean, that's kind of basically what happened, except it wasn't like a cleave with a dude. It was I take the staff that was made for me by Clan Shado and beat his fucking skull in till blood's literally everywhere, and then throw his body onto your table.
Yeah, we call that a decapitation.
No, it wasn't a
Okay.
clean decapitation. It was a smattering of.
Bro, I've read about the guillotine back in old France. It's close enough.
No, this is way worse in every way.
That was the Densho decapitation right there.
Yeah.
Special rights.
You just won't have a
Comes
skull
with a
left
dance.
anymore. It'll
Should
be
you-
dust.
He sits there just like dances in the pool of blood afterwards.
Oh my god. Okay. But yeah, it's basically what happens. I don't think really anything else happens that was important. I'm sending people into the mines. Henry Flamebane, a score of soldiers, and Tick Tongue to see if they can find Gorza. So do you want to resolve that now?
Why is it going straight to your kingdom rules?
Well, no, because this isn't a kingdom roll thing, or is it? Because this is like before the next kingdom rolls, right? Because this is happening this month, and not next month.
Oh no, so it gets resolved. So everything of this month gets resolved next month. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah,
understood.
Because they already sent somebody in there this month, if you will, and who they sent in there disappeared. So you roll for on your
Yeah,
next
of course.
kingdom roll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
if it was like because it spontaneously happens now. If we were doing okay, understood.
No, the thing that had to happen out of context or out of order or whatever it is, if you will, was your brother's situation where he was like, "Hey, so listen, I got this lady friend, and she's all like, boop, bun in the oven."
Okay. I do have something I want to do then that might take precedence over what we're gonna start with. I want to speak to the shaman.
I think that's a matter of opinion.
I'm saying.
I
I
mean,
don't know
Jake was kind of hoping to roleplay at some point in time today.
Were you, Jake? I thought your whole thing is to sit there, waiting.
Bro,
Well, you're really playing to that stereotype, so.
Listen, I know you're trying to write your incest literotica fantasy
Okay.
here, or somehow you both write off in the sunset as fathers and brothers together, united in time and peace, and
Well, Jake, do you
everyone
have
has
anything?
their fair rights. And
Jake, do
Yeah.
you want to go first? Do you have anything you want to do? You know,
All I can think of is
see,
literotica.
normally the reason why I go first is because I have something I want to do. Okay, this is why this happens. I actually want to do something.
just let him digest that scene for a little bit. I think
Jake's
I
been
need
sick
some
for almost
process.
2 weeks. He needs some literotica to get him through it. You know what I mean?
I can start essentially talking into the microphone if needed. But I want to speak to the shaman as soon as possible because she's going to help me resolve the fire elemental trying to murder me thing.
I suppose, but before you do that, before you set the premise, just give me 2 seconds to read something because it's been a hot minute, okay? And then
Oh.
we can jump right
That
into
doesn't
that.
sound good. You never like when Scott's reading something. Typical Zoom.
Okay, I'm ready whenever you are. Sorry, I just needed to read for
Yeah.
a second.
So what's the scene of me like approaching this? Is it a druid or is it a shaman? Shaman, I guess is probably the word we would use.
My apologies. Please remind me exactly who it is that you're speaking.
The shaman of Krylene that Rima spoke to, and I critically succeeded. And
Oh
with that,
yeah.
she was convinced to stay and wait for my return.
Yeah. No. So the more to like the old ways that you are, the more shamanistic they tend to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're shamans because like again, things aren't really portrayed that way very easily when you're playing games like Pathfinder without adding in lots of like really cool written third party stuff. But one of the things that the way that they cast spells generally isn't like Vita Mortis Kale and then big boom magical effect. It's usually ritualistic. So one to several people doing a ritual over the course of several minutes to several hours or whatever to make an effect happen, right? So shaman is appropriate for this kind of scenario. Very few have like quick grab magical abilities the way Daelric has. Very, very few. And you know this, you played in a game in the Barren Lands before, right? So cool,
Yeah.
moving on. It's a shaman would be who you're speaking to, and it is a female. I honestly don't remember their name. Do you have that written down?
I don't think I wasn't given a name.
Cool. If you weren't given a name, is Xylamos here today? Xylamos, if you're not here and don't respond in the next 20 seconds, I will allow Viking to name the shaman because I took Viking's points and gave it to Nick instead. Excuse me, Joey. Excuse me.
So what's up, guys?
I feel like the shaman should be named Barry.
Barry?
Barry, yeah.
I
Baz
respect
the
that.
shaman.
Baz the shaman.
Bazza.
And looks like it's Vikings' turn. Let's go, Vikings.
That's a very it's a good name.
What? Viking didn't come up with a name? Did he? No?
No. It was what Jake said.
Xylamos often lurks. I think Xylamos actually works while we're streaming.
I mean, Viking, just get a name, okay? Serious, normally, There's a person in a living world, right? Unless their parents hated them or they hate themselves.
Names him Joey.
Yeah, that's respectable. It's, that's like every other orc.
Oh no, it's Tony out here.
Tony, my bad.
Dixon Mabrew.
Just my brew, maybe? Is it something I'm mixing?
Yeah, Dixon.
Dick on my brew, dick in my brew, like my coffee, my beer. I don't know.
I was thinking about beer. Yeah, let's just
it's
do Mabrew.
Tonto.
I'm not legal yet, dog. Okay, I can't do it. I got like what, 2 more weeks in 2 days? Yeah, 2 more weeks in today actually.
Ryan's harder, Snaga.
Bury my brew.
No, let's just do Mabrew. Her name is Mabrew.
My brew.
You don't need to have a first and last name.
Yeah, that.
You're from
makes
Kajinksi,
sense.
for Christ's sakes.
And she's a shaman of Kurleen, right?
Oh, actually, out of respect for Joey, if you want to give him 2 names, we can call her Crease McBrew. Crease McBrew. We just
Crease.
mash this. Yeah, Crease. Cries. Spell with a K. K-R-I-S. Crease McBrew.
That's Chris.
Right? Crease McBrew. That's her name.
Crease member. That's funny. You're terrible.
Crease of the McBrew clan, or whatever.
So are they in like
Thanks,
a,
Joey. You contributed.
Are they in like a hut, or is this like they're out in nature and they're kind of have like a spot within like, I don't know, maybe some outlying trees or whatever?
I'm sorry, are you asking me to set the scene for your approach?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
What I'm walking to.
I wasn't sure what you were asking. So when you go to see Crease, who you had heard, you haven't met them prior. This is through reputation that you've heard of this individual. So when you met, no, with the I, Joey, absorb it. Thank you, Steve.
That's what I thought.
So anyways, when you go to meet Crease, where she would actually be is kind of like over near the outskirts of the mines. Interested in the kind of like what happens over there. Honestly, truth be told, interested to the point where it's almost concerning. Like she spends a decent amount of time over there, kind of like watching what happens, so on and so forth. And it's one of those things where like if you were a more suspicious person, you might think that she was learning from it. For reasons a little untoward. Either way, when you find her, you find out that's where she often spends time. And so there she is by a fire that she always maintains for others to regain warmth and whatnot. Because mines are interesting, depending on where you are. Mines can be very cold or very warm, right? So it's a nice place for people to be able to regain warmth, where people consistently cook, so on and so forth. And according to other people, she's able to maintain a decent-sized, very warm fire while using hardly any fuel. Something that really gets they're like, whoa, she really is magic.
Yeah, as I pull up the PDF of Kurleen so I can see what they call her. What would you call a priestess, a shaman of Kurleen?
Shamaness? Oh, is there
Like, what would
specifically a
be-
name I have for them?
Is that a Charlene?
Give me 1 second, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
I know what you're
Please
asking.
one.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. These are things that we don't usually do, so I don't have immediately in front of. Click? No, not click. Click.
The Kurleen has names like the Burning Desire, the Flame Within, and the Enkindler.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any transfer over.
No. That's Enkindled. Would be followers of her.
Enkindled.
Yeah, the Enkindled would be followers of hers. Worshippers. Let's see how the concept. I don't think it has a nickname in there for them. But the
I don't think so.
Enkindled.
The Enkindled one.
The Enlightened. You know what I mean? Scorched. Various things like that would be nicknames totally used.
Okay. I will write that down.
Enkindler is one of her nicknames.
Enkindler. Okay. I just want it written down because it's nice to have cool names for people that worship gods, especially in our region since it's rare. I approach as Tessel does with most people, which is not super boisterously or like showy offy. It's more like humbled when talking to people, except when in like court, which this is a big change from when he was up in the north and around the other warlords. He's back to his normal self.
Mm-hmm.
I approach from like behind the fire, right? So the fire between us, and I'll kind of say on the other side, it's a mighty flame Enkindler.
Catching, because she wasn't paying attention to your approach. She was watching the mines as you came up. She probably noticed you, but really didn't pay you any mind. Probably didn't even recognize who you were. Then when you say that, she would turn to you and she would say, I've been watching after it, and then kind of like realize who you are. And she would step around and say, Warlord, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've been watching after this flame personally.
I can feel its warmth, the passion that it comes with. You are a shaman of Kurleen, I've been told.
She nods. She says, I hold her flame dear to my heart and try to spread its warmth to all that seek to be enkindled.
He nods. My advisors have told you of my predicament with the elemental of flame, of fire and ash, as I say.
I'm here to listen, Warlord.
I've been told the information you gave on it, and it was the creature that took the flames of the forest that enveloped Eldamar. It was a accident. My lantern had spilled, and one of the creatures of the forest had lit it ablaze, and it burned a huge swath of Eldamar. There was much suffering that day. A creature, a guardian, a powerful being of the jungles. It came and spoke to me. Saying that it would create this elemental to hunt me down, to take revenge. What a silly notion. That it would take all the hate and anger and pain and suffering and put into a creature so it can only create more hate and anger and suffering. I wish to release it from its pain. I'm sure I could strike it down, maybe send it back to its home, but I don't know if that would release it from its pain. The creatures, the souls, or whatever is built in that elemental. I wish to return it back to normal. Restore it.
It's a noble task, trying to do more than punish it further for its rage, its anger. But this creature was born of passion, even if it was born of the fires of hatred, even if it burns with pain, as we've said time again. It's with passion that this creature came to life. And if you wish for it to be released or to find a greater purpose, perhaps it needs to find a new passion to do so. I think there's something that can be done. I think there might even be able to be a degree of understanding between yourself and this creature. If its passion is hatred, if it's pain, if that can't be altered into something else, perhaps it could be refined in its current state. Give it what it wants, but give it what it wants in a way that doesn't bring further harm to Clan Shadow or its warlord.
I've heard of people that used to live in this land that communed with similar creatures. They're but much nastier. The shades and shadows of the barren lands. They would worship them, commune with them, and I believe more. Could something be achieved with this elemental?
It's very possible. It's rumors, legends that exists in the old lands, or old ways, the ways that I study and seek to understand. Unions happen between people and the creatures from beyond. This is in fact one of those creatures from one of the lands beyond. I think something like this can be done. This is my point. To redirect its purpose.
Yes. So my theories of a union was not wrong. I did not learn of that. That is concerning because, say, by chance, what happens if... Could you what happens if you mix with more than one creature? What happens if you meld?
I know of no such thing, any situation where someone would have joined with more than one. I don't even know if it's possible.
Do you know how I could try to meld with this creature, to try to bring its passion into my heart, soul, to use it for a force of good and source of good, to try to stop pain and hate?
I was asked to speak with you and asked to speak to you to provide wisdom, guidance. May I speak freely?
Of course.
You ask about joining with multiple creatures, and then immediately change the subject to joining with one.
I do not know my current state.
Warlord, I will be a little more direct. Do you believe you've had such a union before?
It's hard to know, but it's not out of question. It is certainly possible. I aim to have a clearer picture of that soon enough.
There is someone who might be able to help you understand that further. You see, I've traveled far and studied much to try to understand the things that we're discussing. But truth be told, I've learned from others, not just on my own. I know of a shaman that worships Kraelian in ways that I hope to one day aspire to. And Kraelian speaks to her, has taught her a great many things. She might be able to help determine what it is that you're speaking of. Maybe even purge this from your body if need be. If there is something there that's not meant to be.
I have not thought about that. Although I don't know if I would survive.
Similarly, if there is something that already resides within you and you look to place a second one there, you don't know if you would survive that either.
That is fair. Whom do you speak of that you have learned from?
It's very unlikely you've heard of her. Her name is Galtma. Sorry.
And do they reside within Kajinxi or beyond into the Barren Lands?
She resides in the Barren Lands.
How far in? Where?
I can't answer that question very easily. The Crimson Flame has been known to travel a considerable amount with her tribe, as do all tribes in the Barren Lands. I imagine you were born and raised here in Kajinxi, so you're probably not very familiar with the ways of the Barren Lands. It's no tribe, barring the most brazen or the most foolish, stay in one location for too long. You would have to find her tribe and earn your way to speak with her. It's a difficult task, to say the least.
And I do not know if I have the time. Who knows when the creature will come next?
I'm going to be very frank with you. If you send an errand boy to do such a task, they will not return. Their bones will be used to pick the teeth of those that consumed them, and she would not bat an eye because you've disrespected her with your action.
it is not. I can't just wander the barren lands. I would have to. Maybe the Ashen Orc can assist me in locating the tribe. If we can find the location, then we might be able to quickly go and try to meet.
That is, if that is your prerogative, you do what you feel is necessary. I came to offer guidance in the situation of this one particular spirit, but I didn't come offering this information entirely for free. We can discuss payment after we discuss an understanding, as I wish to provide aid before I seek reward.
Do you know how to put this creature into another soul, into their body, to combine them?
Complicated question. The simple answer is maybe. I know of the ritual. I've even seen preparations for it, but I've never participated in it myself. I feel confident in my ability, but we all know that confidence is a slow and insidious killer, especially in the Barren Lands.
Would it have to be me who joins this creature to relieve of its hate, to channel another direction, or could another one that's been touched by this creature?
Its passion is for you. I think that it would have to find its own way of forgiving you to be released entirely. If it can't forgive you, or if you choose not to go about that path, then find another purpose for its hate, for its anger. I can think of a few ways, but one of them, the one that you just brought up, is to join with it, to make it one with you. Another way is beyond my understanding of how to accomplish, at least by myself. But spending the time I have with your clan, I've come to understand that the tools to do so reside here. With my knowledge and the skill of those you have in your clan, it's possible we could do it together. I'm sure you've heard of, maybe even in your blessed life that you live, enlightened by the burning knowledge that is delivered unto most warlords, come across, even bore witness to the wondrous magic items that exist across this world. They seem like trinkets to some, but are life-altering experiences to others. It is said that there is a smith here by the name of Jorman that is capable of crafting such wonders, such artifacts. Great renown is what I've heard. Even given to another one of the warlords as a chief, who has the ability to call fire at the end of his weapon without even a moment's notice. A blessing of Kraleen, to say the least. It's also said that the wisdom of the Arcane Congress is brought to this clan. Knowledge of such things far beyond anything Kajinxia has ever been able to garner in its 100 years of existence. With their ability, and what I've learned, we may be able to take this creature and repurpose it a different way and kindle its passion into an object that, if kept near enough to you, very well may satisfy its desires.
Would this item have to be magical beforehand? Well, I guess that is what Lenny and Storman's useful to figure out this information, how the item has to be set up. That is a safer idea than putting it into me at the moment.
I've tried to speak to Jorman about this, but he's rebutted any attempt for me to speak with him directly. Apparently, he's far behind on his list of things that he was supposed to have crafted by now, and others are becoming displeased with the wait. So he's been closing his doors to meeting with others, especially after some display that happened recently in your chambers.
Don't the Ashen Orc has his ways, and I have mine.
Don't mean to outstep my boundaries as someone who comes to offer aid and seek reward for it, but it's rumored that the Ashen Work has been waiting for a considerable amount of time for such a gift, and that display was his showing his displeasure with waiting.
Those rumors are but rumors. His display was a way to destroy the members of Densho that do not understand allies.
I understand.
You asked for a reward in the future. I had plans of offering you a place in my kingdom. If that is what you had desired, we can get arrangements on the way. If not, then we can speak of it later if desired.
It wasn't a placement within the kingdom itself that I was necessarily looking for, but perhaps such things I may be interested in. Depending on the benefits. Do you offer 401k? Do you match? What percentage up to
Yes.
what percentage?
100%, okay?
And how many slaves do I get to keep?
None, because there's no slaves. You are.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Wink, no slaves.
How many minors do I get to? Never mind. No. You are not a whore. You are not a whore.
That's hot. That's hot. That's hot. A little spicy. Little spicy.
Like minors. You know what I mean?
How about workers? Okay. Job neutral titles. Okay.
Please. Sel, talking about your clan and these minors, things get a little sketchy over here.
Yeah, so if you put 1,000-year-old fire elemental soul into a child, it's still a child.
Depends on whose soul is in charge. Okay.
We're not going down this path any further than we've already gone too far.
Oh God. So, what does she ask for?
Oh, sorry. So, set it up in game. My apologies.
Yeah. I will reward you, no matter what the outcome is. But I would wish to know in advance so we can be prepared, or I can have arrangements made.
She nods and says, "In a way, Warlord, I want your refuse."
Don't know what that word means.
Refuse is like trash.
Oh.
It could also mean like, excrement.
Okay.
But
Okay.
in a way, Warlord. Oh, hey Keegan. Hey girl. I hope you're feeling better. I know last time we hung out, you weren't feeling the best. I hope you're feeling better. You just gave a gift sub to Nick's brother, so Nick's not going to talk to you for the rest of the session. Just so you know. Mm-hmm.
The waste from the mines.
She nods and says, "Not all the waste. There is one particular bit of disregarded refuse that you have that I have interest in, and I would like to collect much of it. And when I say much of it, I mean I would like to have wagons."
What is it?
I've been carrying a bit of it for some time in hopes that you would come and speak with me, Warlord. May I? She says as she turns goes to take a step closer to you.
Yeah, he nods.
So she goes over and like she takes like a couple steps up, reaches into like a side pouch and pulls out a bit of a rock and hands it to you. I mean, it's a rock that you're familiar with. You've seen it a bunch of times before. It's almost like a chalkiness to it. Like it definitely can, like it leaves almost like a residue on your hands. It's
it's like a
kind of
graphite?
porous. It's kind of porous and stuff like
Okay.
that. It's one of those things you're like, I have, what is this?
What is this used for?
From what I understand, this is something that other places call coal. But
Coal.
it is
The word's almost foreign to his tongue, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you mean like cold? Like it doesn't feel cold? No.
Coal?
Yeah. But you're obviously
Coal?
an idiot. But in honor of Kraleen, it's also known as the Flame Within.
It helps with fires?
You've heard of the flame that I've maintained and even complimented it. I will offer you this knowledge for free, Warlord. She extends her hand to take it from you.
I place it in her palm.
She tosses it into the fire and says, "Allow me to explain. It just takes a few minutes for it to warm up." And then she'll turn and she'll kind of like look after the fire, which I don't know if you would say anything or do anything or just allow it to be quiet for a while.
I just sit. I just like stand probably near the fire, enjoying its warmth. Probably whispering prayers to Kraleen in his head, you know?
Mm-hmm. So, she, after a couple of minutes, will then fish out the bit of coal and show you, like, exactly how hot, like, it's already embers. Like, you have to burn wood for a long-ass time to let it come down to the embers that are left behind. The coal, after burning for only a few minutes, is already the embers that you have to work to get wood to become.
I look at
And
it.
that means it has a much higher temperature to it. It's more resistant to like water or wind or whatever it might be to cool it down. It'll ignite other things, it insulates itself, but blah, 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 blah. You know what coal is. You live in 2021.
Yeah, I just think about how useful this would be for forges because it'd make forges more efficient.
Hmm?
That is.
I mean, not more efficient than being in a fucking volcano, but
yeah, but not all my forges are in a volcano. Okay. Yeah. Okay. For now, soon we're gonna get a lava tunnel pump pipeline up into my second city. Okay. So you bet. I see why you desired wagons of this. Those will be provided.
you need to
I'll
be
have-
careful with it, though. I'm sure you've had fires happen in your mines.
Ooh, are these the cause of such fires?
Yes and no. There's a combination of this and the very air itself. It's just when the air ignites, which happens very easily, so doesn't this and continues the burn.
Is there a way to make safety? Ooh, maybe ventilation systems in the mines.
The word ventilation has not been unlocked yet.
Maybe some sort of way to suck the inner mine's air out, put fresh air in.
She
Speak to my engineer or my architect.
Yeah. She kind of like nods along. Says, if you can speak to Jorman and this member of the Arcane Congress and see if they would be willing to work with me, we very well may be able to find a way to, say, weave this spirit into something else. If you're interested in seeking out the wildfire tribe, perhaps speaking to Galdemar, he would be able to inform you of what it is that's going on inside of your own body.
I will do both. If I cannot accomplish the meeting with the Wildfire tribe, then we will commit to the object plan. It is good to have two plans. I invite you to join me back to my city. You can meet with Lenny and Jorman there. They will accept the meeting once they understand the significance of it. Although Lenny always seems to have a bit of free time.
You go and find Lenny, and he's napping.
I rap on the door.
To be fair, though, he gets the job done. The fact that he's more
does.
intelligent than everybody around him, so he gets it done sooner, doesn't mean that he should have to work more.
Hey,
He already
exactly.
got his work done. He's just taking a nap.
Yeah. Hey, Lenny,
Besides,
I need
if
you to
you
do
were
2 things for me.
103 years old, you'd take a nap too.
Hey, Lenny, I need you to do like 6 different things for me, okay? Are you ready?
No. Napping.
Just 2 things, Lenny. No, but we don't have to roleplay this, I imagine.
Actually, he's 110. Ooh, you know what happens on his birthday?
Oh, it's not his birthday yet, is it? Though?
I don't think it is. No, let me look and see what it is. I think you wrote down all their birthdays because you're a weirdo.
Yeah. All
February
the birthdays
17th.
start.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, it's in the winter.
His birthday soon. It's coming up.
So
boys.
it's going to be his 111th birthday.
Woo!
That line always bothered me.
Okay.
Like, why does he say it like that? Hey, Jake, you're from Hobbiton, aren't you? Or close enough. Why does he say, it's my 111th birthday? Why doesn't he just say it's my 111th birthday?
I think because he's pretty smashed, man.
I think it sounds like.
Probably
it sounds like
I'm
lucky to
glad
be
I-
talking at this.
I'm glad I asked the Australian. You guys know that well. That's right.
Okay, but yeah, so I'll bring her back to my capital and they can start meeting with Lenny and German. She can.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, if we want to continue with this, unless you want to just linger with someone else at the moment.
I'm
Move
sure
along.
somebody else would like to do some talking.
Yeah,
Jake's
hey,
been
guys.
bridling.
You
guys got
can
something
move on to Nick if you'd like.
Aw. Look at that Nick. Isn't he so sweet?
Am I gonna go? What? Huh?
He was offering for in case you wanted to head back to your clan and deal with some stuff. I still have, I mean, Cell still has to deal with his brother
Yeah.
situation to a degree, but that's fine.
I got stuff to do still, which I figured it's good to break it up.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah,
bring
I
up
don't
some-
know. Another 40 minutes, I'll probably be sleeping on my desk. I can,
Yeah.
Were you
but I
up
don't know,
early?
Jake. Do you
Were you up
you
early
can
today?
go first.
Oh, hold
I
up,
slept
hold up,
like
Nick.
4 hours last night.
Oh, really? Why?
Because I'm old.
I've slept 4 hours since I was a kid. Why are you old?
Also, blame
Why are you
Pathfinder's
old?
crafting rules for
Wait,
how long it takes for
What do you mean 'cause you're
covering
old?
the craft.
Wait,
Actually,
did we
I
keep
didn't-
you out
all-
too
all I-
late last night, Nick? Did we keep
Yeah,
you out
you
too
did.
late?
Absolutely. And I had candy too late, so I was just up.
Let's just say, go get some candy. Wake you up.
I actually didn't do anything productive on Sunday, so like my body was like, "Why didn't you do housework? You got to finish chores."
Did
didn't
you
prep for the week?
did the kids get a good pull of candy? I haven't even really tried.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did they really?
Emma's gonna eat like 6 things of candy, and then she's gonna stash it for later, and then we're gonna throw it away next year. I like my kid is like, she gets so reasonable sometimes it drives me crazy.
One of the people I work with, she was saying that her grandchild counts the candy, like legit counts it, so they know how much it is. I was like, if my kid counted their candy, I would take candy each day for a few days, then also start putting some back in other days, like just to mess with them. Like if you're gonna be this anal about the candy you got from Halloween, your life's not gonna be fun. Like I'm gonna make you
no.
suffer.
No, she was already like, Nick, all the Reese's are yours because I know they're your favorite. You want them in the freezer because that's when they taste better, right? Like, yes, I trained you well.
It's funny.
But yes. If you don't want to go, Jake, I can go back to my clan. That's fine. Although, you know,
Yeah,
I had
I'm
important
gonna-
stuff I wanted to do. I didn't get to talk to Scott about it because he blew me off. And then, you know, I don't want to take away Cell's, 4-hour spotlight time.
I'm trying to break it up, okay? I'm just
for,
the
for
only
me,
one
it's a
that has
it's a Pete
plans.
and Tora day. I'm retiring Varix for today.
Wait, what?
Something bad.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out as either one of their advisors. I don't know if Varix is doing anything today.
Well, that's the
So,
whole
so you're
point.
just gonna sit
That's
there and
fine.
role play with yourself as the two advisors, and we're all gonna watch.
No, like if there's anything that requires, I don't know, anything going on in their kingdoms, I've got someone there.
Jake is saying, "Listen, guys, I showed up to work as I was on the schedule, but we all know I should have called out sick. So just be happy that I'm in my chair and the computer is powered on. Now give me some fucking water cooler will gossip and give me my paycheck. That's not real, right? See? He's shaking with
Correct.
yes. He's calling
Yeah,
it
this
yes.
is, wait, what about the Denjo family reunion? That was a great one. That happens, right? Or that next month.
All right. So, Nick, I guess returning back home, you had some stuff that you wanted to handle. You actually already got home, if I remember correctly, and you already had
Yes.
somebody that came and spoke to you. I believe actually Galt May, came and spoke to you to discuss breeding rights. And I believe did you come to terms?
Yes. It
Right.
was 8 BP and then possibly 4 BP for Nabu, potentially, unless another bidder comes, and then she has first right to outbid. So.
Yeah. Yep. It's one of those rent to own options. So cool. All right. So you have back at your clan, what did you need to take care of? Or were there any questions that you needed to ask or discuss with me that are okay to do on stream?
So basically, I think Naren, his major plan was just to, I'm going to go the festival route as well, but he's going to make official the him and Karzug union. And for that celebration, he's going to hold, again, a giant festival, but he's searching for warriors and knights because now he wants to vamp up his army. I think that's going to take some time to arrange, and I don't want to do that on the fly. But essentially, I've got a bunch of followers that I'm not using that I would like to build out slots for, and I kind of want to get Tanscreet settled with a proper force that's under his wing, and I want to use my followers to do that.
His one wing.
Yeah, and then his one. Yes, well, hey, my right hand doesn't need a left. All right.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not knocking it. We got friggin' Sephiroth was the one winged angel. It's all good.
We just have to turn him into Mega Man somehow. I don't know.
Prosthetic wooden hands.
Yes.
Or Samus.
Instead of bolts
right?
of plasma, he can shoot Kamatory eggs at people with a slingshot on his arm. I have no idea.
That's very expensive
Yeah.
projectiles to use.
Bombs are expensive, okay? It's all the rotten Kamatory eggs, the no-goes.
He just carries a pocket full of kiwis and just like squeezes the bird until they pop
Well-
out an egg.
So wait, the question is, do Kamatory lay unfertilized eggs like chickens?
I mean, don't most birds lay unfertilized eggs? Very few get fertilized inside the bird, right? I think almost all birds lay unfertilized eggs.
I think that should be a vote with Chad. Do I have an ostrich farm?
Well, hold up. Do ostriches get fertilized while still inside the ostrich?
No, I
Yeah,
don't think so.
I didn't think so.
Unless they're burying their heads in the wrong kind of hole. I have no idea.
I mean, I know that some animals will have the eggs fertilized and then lay them. Like I think sharks do that. But
I think some snakes do that as well. But
Wait, I had no idea that like eggs are just. I don't know how eggs became fertilized. Okay, I've never learned this.
Are you in college?
Yeah, but I'm not a biologist. I've been to one biology class, and I was in high school, my first year. So,
Oh, I forgot. You're down south. You guys don't really have public education.
yes, we do. Oh,
well, they
my God.
have it. But to be fair,
I
I don't recall this. This
Yeah,
is
it's like
this is
what was
niche
your
knowledge.
No one taught this in school.
what was high school like? How to fix your farm plow, and
I live
you
in
know,
like
do they teach you how to be racist and not get fired now?
I live near the cities in the state. Just
You
so
have
you
cities?
realize. Yes. Okay, I have one of the largest, like top 15 cities in the country.
Is that like
Size.
where the biggest barns of like hay bales are, or?
No, there's no farms nearby. God, my God.
Yes, I know. There's big cities down south. Well, I mean, sure.
It's funny. We actually compared metropolitan areas, and I believe it turned out Boston was more square miles metropolitan than yours was.
I think so, but Boston's also a much older.
I don't know. Phoenix says it's true, so we have commatory scrambles. You know,
Let's go.
There you go.
do it
Let's
up.
sell those.
But anyway, yeah. So I have some kingdom slots that need to be filled out, and realized that I have some second and third level follower slots that I can burn. So I would like to kind of go through all that, but wrap it up in a nice way that makes it fun.
All right. So what kingdom slots are you referring to?
All of the empty ones.
Oh, you mean like leadership roles?
Yeah.
Oh, hold up. So to show chat what we're talking about. He means these.
Yes.
I have to
He means
open up
this. Let me actually see if I can
Stream now.
make this not look classless.
So what you need? So consort's
Yeah.
gonna be Karzug. You need a Royal
Yes.
Enforcer and Curator. So 3 slots, or 2 slots really. Oh no,
Yeah.
3 slots because Karzug is currently General Warden.
Yes.
So you're gonna have to get a Warden. Or not. I guess it depends. If you're becoming, are you becoming General Ruler? Is that your plan?
Next level.
Okay.
I need the feed for that.
Can
Yeah,
you train?
Because your
Karzug's
plan is to
feet?
go general ruler, and then your plan for her is to stay warden, correct? Because
Correct.
you'll clearly be a better general than she would.
Yes.
But what about the consort slot?
And it was
Consort
either have her stay consort warden and then source a new general, because literally anyone could be a better general than her because she just doesn't have the charisma stat. I had to.
It's funny because even though
spend-
she offers a decent stability, which is part of the thing, if you have a terrible stats, a charisma score, so it's like you can, as a general, you can be strength or charisma. But when you add in the mechanic of like how many armies you can have, so on and so forth, you need that charisma score or you're semi-fluffed, you know? So makes it a little
Which is where we're at.
Yeah, but she can't be warden consort unless you're making that in the feat. I don't think there's a warden ruler feat. But you kind of.
Oh, I thought it was just you could occupy too. I didn't read it. So
No, it's
which
a
is
feat.
typical.
That's kind of what it is.
Yeah, there might be a warden ruler fee. I'll actually just check real quick. So you have why is it not opening? Thank you.
I can pull it up
So natural ruler, fortunate rule is a really freaking cool one, but only helps sometimes. Commander in chief is the ruler and general. Divine right is ruler and priest. Minting magic is general and war. Oh, the minting magic is has never been rewritten, but that's supposed to be like I think treasurer and magister.
It's what a certain person I have.
Martial law is general and warden. Might and magic is ruler and magister. Spread the faith is high priest and grand diplomat. That's a powerful one.
Interesting.
And secret
it'd be a
police
good
is
one
spy
for
master,
me.
royal enforcer.
Yeah, you even wrote on the side. Warden only really works with general, sadly. Like as a quote to yourself on the right hand side.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You're thinking of priest warden, but because the issue with warden, well, warden's about like organizing like the city, like the cities or the metropolitan areas, isn't it? It's like the defense of those. Marshal's the defense
like
of the wilderness, and then general's like the armies on like a.
Isn't that a castellan, not a warden?
The same thing, I think.
What are you asking about, sir?
I said I'm pretty sure that's a castellan. In fact, it's a cavalier class. But
You know what,
Well,
Castellan?
well,
So
but-
what some of the other rulers of clans, cities, whatever, that I've DM'd before, they turn consort into Castellan and do it that way instead. But warden, generally speaking, they're like the architect. So they oversee like the city police to whatever degree, but it's also mostly about engineering. It's about architecture and engineering, the city design and planning. And so they also oversee like guards and whatnot to a degree, but mostly it's architecture, engineering, and making sure that your leadership gets through your city safely. You know?
Sure.
I could see warden consort then because they're occupying the in the city position.
Yeah. Yeah, they generally speaking, that person is not going to leave the city. They're going to oversee the city when you're not there. They're going to oversee the city planning, at points in time ruling the city, so on and so forth. That one makes sense logically when you factor in. So what it is when it comes to the roles, let me actually toss this up over here. Give me 1 second, chat. Now I can show you what we're looking at, even though some of you have probably seen it before. Give me 1 second. Paste. All right. Ooh, go away, you, and bring you back up over here. So just so you can see what we're looking at here. So the idea is that I have this cute little chart that I made right here. See if I can make it a little bit larger for you. This little chart that I made right here, where more or less I highlighted the primary positions, the positions that if you don't have them filled in your kingdom, you're kind of screwed, right? So it's ruler, priest, diplomat, treasurer, counselor, and I think that's it, right? Oh, and spy master, right? Because spy master sucks if you don't have them. Then your secondaries are gonna be things like general, warden, magister, marshal, royal enforcer, etc., etc. And then there's the ones that don't really matter, which like consort and lore keeper. What was the other one called?
So it's consort
Curator.
Curator. Thank
Well,
you.
original is named heir.
Yeah, originally it's heir. Later on, curator, whatever you do. Those like tertiary positions. Honestly, even royal enforcer is borderline a tertiary position. You know. So when you're looking at the viability of feats, you don't want them to be OP. So the problem is when you have ruler priest, that one feels very powerful because the ruler, general, ruler, diplomat, that's not that powerful because it's a primary and a secondary. We have ruler priest or priest diplomat. Those are like powerful feats. That's somebody taking in 2 primary positions. Those are huge. But also if you lose that person,
Yeah.
you know. So the idea of like a warden consort, Nick, to bring it back to you, that's a secondary and tertiary position feat. It's not that the feat shouldn't exist. It's just the difference between, say, getting, I don't know, power attack or skill focused fishing. You know, like it has its uses, but it's just not as useful, you know? So.
It doesn't matter to me. I can always she's going to consort no matter what because that's what I had planned for. So
Honestly,
if I find a different warden, I'm fine with that.
Nick, just make a hobgoblin as your warden.
Yeah, I just make a new warden.
Just do that. They're so fucking good.
But having her fill up those 2 positions, which more or less takes the feat that she already has and using like the retraining mechanics to turn it into a different feat that's very similar, that works fine. Turning her into warding consort is fine. Like I have no problem with retraining the feat to be a lesser version of the same feat. You know what I mean? You also have Barbados to fill one of your holes.
For now. He'll die eventually.
Wow, way to ruin it.
There's no spoiler. This has happened in real life. His death is in the past.
In real life, I've never watched my friend's streams, so I didn't know.
Yeah,
okay. I have a hard
stream.
time watching, with the exception of Rena. I actually don't usually watch my friends' streams either. Most of them are not like I'll pop in for like 5-10 minutes here and there, but like
I've never even seen my own brother's stream, so
I've actually watched maybe in grand total a good half hour of his streams, but I don't watch a lot of D&D content. You know what I mean? I like Rena's because I think she's funny, but she plays at Messy a lot, and Messy's the worst. So I can't watch her streams when Messy's there. He's the worst. Ruins everything.
I don't even know who those people are.
You've met Rena.
He's so bad.
You've met Rena. I don't know if you've met Messy.
Oh
You've definitely met Rena before, though.
Yeah, I just that's cool.
So yeah, so you're getting a consort warden. I think that's a pretty cool mix in terms of like what they're doing, right? I think it's kind of cool and like.
I think it suits it suits the character at least. She's still very.
Quick question from Viking, by the way. The last thing he posted.
Okay, hold on.
And he makes it right above that. He makes a really good point as to why not use Barbados.
Would Naren trust that kind of loyalty?
For a warding consort.
And
I believe
yes.
so. I don't think Naren wouldn't make a person his consort unless there was absolute trust.
Yeah. So why don't we kind of get back into, so now that we had a little bit of meta chat about what you want to do with this. I've already approved this before, you know what I mean? And I'm perfectly fine with you transitioning it into consort. I was going to say for you, consort general. But consort warden, I definitely approve because that's a secondary and tertiary position. You just have to find you're supposed to find the median or the layover. So consort's usually charisma only. General is supposed to be charisma strength, so you just use charisma. Problem is, warden's supposed to be con or strength. The idea of your consort requiring a high constitution is kind of amusing. I won't lie.
Oh,
Hey,
true.
snoo.
It just makes me think of, what's that movie, Meaning of Life, where the woman's standing there doing dishes and all of a sudden a baby pops out. You know what I mean? Like, that requires a high constitution.
Yeah, I guess it can't really do strength without like the feet or whatever, because strength
Yeah,
also
Royal
is
Enforcer
applicable for
wouldn't be too bad either.
Consort Royal Enforcer, that one's a little weird. To me, that feels
Yeah,
a little bit weird.
It's like the president's wife is in charge of his secret service.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Right? You know, you wouldn't really.
Fits with my 3/4 harem.
But
hey, at least I'm not trying to marry my own brother.
Also, you wouldn't put like Barbados as the royal enforcer. I don't think he permits the image Nick wants.
No, Barbados was just going to be a backup general anyway, or a backup commander.
So, would strength not be applicable for Kuruk in place for like ruler and stuff? Or do you need the might make straight feet or whatever that allows that?
It's supposed to be they share a stat. And consort specifically requires charisma, whereas the other one specifically requires strength or con.
Charisma.
So if we allowed this, it would be allowed because the reason why you're able to cross stats is because it's a bottom tier feat. That makes it more viable. But then you still have to choose, well, what's the stat that goes with it? You know what I mean? Consort, generally speaking, requires charisma. You know? So it's just one of those things where you have to kind of decide on that one. This isn't a decision that has to be made right now because we can get back to actually playing the game instead of just the meta aspect of it. But it's something that we can we kind of like try to decide on in chat. Seriously, over in spoilers chat in Discord, feel free to give your opinions over there. You know what I mean?
I think probably charisma's fair as.
But if it's charisma, then he wouldn't want that at all because the reason why he's moving her.
True.
The reason why she's moving is because her charisma score's trash. Otherwise, his other way around this was to actually make her the consort general and then get her charisma modifying magic item. I think he actually just bought her one in game.
Which I did to bring her up from negative.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
So.
Which he hasn't given to her yet. That's actually what we're about to do when we get back into RP. I'm sorry, Nick, you were saying?
Yeah, so the end goal of how we could make her viable is to wait another level. At level 9, I could actually turn her into a cohort and kind of redo her stats and beef her up as a cohort and give her heroic levels instead of PC levels, which is probably going to happen.
His consort to be subservient, yes.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that could help. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Sam was just like, I want a new car,
okay.
and I was like, okay, here's my wallet. That's how my life goes.
So, Nick, I guess, how do you present your new gift to your soon-to-be wife?
We'll get back to that in 1 second. Just to finish up what somebody else said in chat. Ash said in chat, I won't lie, Ash, that's something I've been thinking about, which is true. I agree with you. Sans one minor detail. Nick, what stat do you use as ruler?
Oh, Jesus. Do I use charisma? I do.
You have to. Ruler has to be charisma.
No, Jake gets around that.
Well, because of the might make feet is what I was saying earlier.
Correct. So, and one of the other things that, what's his name? What the fuck's his name? Norway had suggested beforehand, and I actually agree with Norway on. These leadership feats that we're talking about are badass, but most of them have the limitation of one. You know, sometimes this feat, you cannot take this feat if you also have this feat. You know what I mean? Like you can't take more than one feat that allows you to do two different roles. But you can't also take a feat that allows you to change your attribute and do two different roles. You know what I mean? That's just a bit too much. This is why I need to really contemplate what we're doing next.
A feat to change your attribute just to do one roll well would be
correct.
Fine by me.
Correct,
yeah.
and that exists, but that's fine, and that actually might be a better option for Karzug, is to do something like that. I don't know. We'll discuss that afterwards. For now, let's go about it your way, right? So, was there anything else in the meta that you wanted to discuss before we get into your nitty gritty?
No, I think that was basically the sum of it.
Cool. We should actually like get all of your character sheets of all of your different minions and like put them in paper format and lay them out on this table over here and bring the camera over and do like a stream where we're just kind of like plotting out your entire kingdom and how you want your rulers to be while hanging out at the table over here, just so we can A, be in person and have a drink, which is fun, and B, sit at the table, which makes me feel important, and C, I feel like we'd get more done if we're actually like at a table.
But you know, you'd actually have to invite me over instead of Josh.
I've hung out with Josh like 5 times ever. Maybe
5
7.
times more than me this year. Yeah. Best friend. Sure.
No, the only reason Josh was invited at Saturday is because it was for the little kids.
I know, it's because he makes you feel big. I get it.
No, we only had 2. Well, actually, we got blown off by one of the parents too, because she has Mercer. Like that's a thing. Anyways, so
yeah, couldn't happen to him better. Anyway, moving on.
So, you're home. You had your conversation with Galtma. Galt May, sorry. I keep saying her name wrong. Galt May. And was there, so what is the immediate thing after you wanted to do after you had that kind of like interaction, so on and so forth, after last week?
Who are you talking to?
Nick.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking to.
Wait, Galt. Oh, yeah, I was reading the wrong notes. That's why I was very confused.
So Nick, you after you had that interaction with her, what was immediately the next thing that you wanted to do? Because that was kind of how we ended last stream, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so it was basically I came in, I dealt with Tanscreet. I had that with Galtma.
By dealt with Tanscreet, you meant you ignored the fact that it happened and you were like, what makes a soldier incapable of doing their tasks? Like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, well, that doesn't define blah, blah, blah. And he was like, okay.
Yeah, that was just stop being a bitch.
And
dude's got secretaries. What's he need 2 hands for?
No. So anyways, so yeah, you obviously gave him the rest of his leave time that he needed or whatever to recover beyond the first like 2 meetings or whatever, and so he can kind of come back, but we'll deal with that afterwards. What else did you want to do once you got back there?
So then we have to do the crowning of Karzug, we'll say.
Sure. So how are we going to handle this situation?
That I don't know.
Private,
this is not
public?
red stuff.
You wanted to do this as the events, right?
Well, it's going to happen in private, and then we're going to announce it as a festival, and then raise the armies.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
He's going off. He's mimicking me. It's okay.
No, it's like when you
I don't even pay attention to you, so
listen, that's not even true. Okay, you didn't know those edicts existed till I said I was doing one. Okay, and I'll bet that's true.
I mean, I'd put money on that.
Yeah, but I mean, you're like Nick. I'm betting you didn't read the rules. Like that's not betting.
No, it's a pretty easy guess.
Yes.
So that's all I'm saying. Okay.
What was I saying? I'd say when people like propose to somebody in like a lot of public, somebody pulls somebody else on stage and proposes to them there, it's like you kind of can't say no. You have to say yes there and then tell them no later on. Otherwise, you get a big scene and you're the bad guy. So It's like, no, you guys don't understand. I'm not marrying this idiot. But in that moment, you gotta be like, yeah. So definitely better to do it in private first. Make sure she knows she actually has a choice in this matter. So, anyways.
Yeah, we're not going to make her work in the mines. I mean,
Fuck off.
Uh,
The prerequisite to be leader of Clan Shadow. You gotta work in the mines for a year.
I've only ever
I didn't
witnessed.
know what happened in public. Oh, God.
Oh, no, that's not true. I've witnessed a lot of proposals. But that's because when I worked at restaurants, I've seen people get proposed to in Applebee's. Which, hey, you know, that could have been like what your first date was or whatever it was significant to you, so on and so forth. So I don't want to knock it, but like at the same time, I've also seen people propose to people at Applebee's and it was the first time there. And I'm like,
those half-priced apps, they get me. All right, they get me there.
Hey, no
That's the way to my
discounting
heart.
it, okay? No, never.
And that margarita, it is perfect. So it's terrible.
I'm not even knocking the restaurant proposal. I'm just like, Applebee's?
I'm not
like,
the restaurant proposal.
I don't. No. Different people, different
Applebee's.
things.
At Applebee's is the problem.
Well, yeah, if you're doing a restaurant proposal, you should be getting a different set of silverware with every course. Okay, that's my opinion.
That's because that's not necessarily within everybody's means, right? Like, so I don't want to knock necessarily what you're capable of doing, you know. But Applebee's is just like it's like a place that microwaves its fish, you know. Like you go to like Uno's and not get microwaved fish.
Look, you can respect like this, like the steakhouse, like the Texas Steakhouse, which is like the not too expensive ones.
Yeah.
But like you get to like sit in the booth and you get a steak or whatever, and you get this
typical
yeast
kid from
rolls.
down south. Just take her to a steakhouse and throw a ring on it.
Listen, that's what, dude. They're every other fucking street, dude. All right, there's just every single fucking shopping center, like restaurant center.
Better get her that cinnamon butter with them rolls.
Oh my shit, dude! You don't understand. That shit's so good. Holy shit.
Dude, my coffee everywhere.
You get this cinnamon, you get like 6 of those things, and you get like a whole thing of rolls in the box, dude. You take them home. I just got called out in real time.
That was hilarious. Just bring her to a steakhouse and put a ring on it. Can we clip that? Can we clip that? Like just the portions that make it awesome. Clip that. I want to send it to Brittany.
Oh God. Wow. Okay.
So
yeah.
So to go back to what Nick wants to do, I don't want to knock other people making, like, you all have your own way of celebrating love, but it's just, please not Applebee's. Like even Chili's is better than Applebee's, right? Like pretty much any corporate place. Yeah. Applebee's is like, it's like, you know, if McDonald's let you sit down comfortably. That's just not that one. I've worked at enough chains to tell you, it's just not that one, you know? Anyways. Or maybe not a Tom Hardy's either. Is that what it's called? Moving on.
I don't even know.
So Nick, how do you want to do this? What's the scene? You're the one painting it.
Well, first we're gonna start with
Okay, I'm sorry, Viking brought something up. Viking, Olive Garden doesn't allow them to salt the water that they boil their pasta in anymore because it degrades the pans over time. So to save money, they don't put salt in the water that they use to boil their pasta. It's not even fresh pasta. It's freeze-dried pasta like you buy in the grocery store down the, you know, cereal alley. Like, and they're not allowed to salt it. Olive Garden is trash. I haven't eaten an Olive Garden in over 10 years. What's up?
Wait. They're not allowed to salt what?
Pasta. The water that you boil pasta in.
Why? What the fuck?
Like, there's a reason why you salt that pasta. It's not just for flavor. It's also to allow it to cook at a higher temperature. Like, anyways, whatever. Go ahead, Nick.
Wild. World's weird.
Olives are gross, by the way. So just even the name, it offends me.
Olives are kind of gross.
Oh man, no, Kalamata olives, top tier. Man, Spanish, blue cheese stuffed Spanish olives instead of filthy goose martini. I won't lie.
That just
I
sounds
I
gross.
might need a moment.
I feel like that even just in my head, that looks like a wad you find in the corner in an adult theater. That's gross.
Nick, we need to go to Oyster Bar sometime. No, ladies, just guys' night to Oyster Bar. Let's go. Eat some like raw oysters, sip some martinis. I think I just asked you on a date with aphrodisiacs. Oh boy. Oh wow. That just.
I knew that work in the gym was paying off. It's just-
Hey, listen, Scott's easy. It's okay.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I just asked you to like a night out and have with my wife. Oh boy. Let's get back to the game so you can propose to me.
you keep telling me I need to buy a ring from you. Is that the hint?
But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So I have no idea. Naren's probably just as terrible at this as I am in real life. I have no idea how to be romantic. So I'm guessing with him, it's probably going to be on a display. He'll be like, "Hey."
Well, hold on. In
frank
Naren's
conversation.
defense, he didn't have a lifetime of rom-coms to give him examples of romance.
That's true.
I'll defend Naren for this. Go ahead.
Yes. No, listen, there was a lot of romance in that orphanage. I'm just kidding. We're not talking about Cell's family.
What the fuck?
Oh, he's getting worse.
You
Back to the
guys
game.
are all step siblings. Terrible. Step brother, no.
How many step I'm stuck. I said to Brittany sometimes now, she's like, why? Why is this a thing? I'm like, Messi put it in my head. I'm like, blame Messi. She's like, fucking Messi with the river and the stepbrother. Like,
Oh, Jesus.
I'll open my dryer. It's okay.
go ahead, sir.
So, I mean, set the scene. So, Naren and Karzug have been probably dating discreetly for a while, or courting. So, he's just going to present the circlet and say, "Are you ready to make it official and step up and be a leader of this clan?" In truth.
And you say it's not presenting a crown or anything. You're just saying this outright, right?
Well, it's a circlet. Yeah.
Oh, so show the circlet. She's like, hold it out. Like, are you ready to step up? Should look down at what it is that you're offering, like proffering, right? Like holding out. Like it looks a little bit perplexed. Let me actually pull up her character sheet. I want to make sure I get this right. And go ahead and roll me a sense motive.
Oh God, I'm not good at those.
I have people to roll these for me. Turns to your advisor. What is she thinking?
Shala, if she says no, get the knives ready. I'm just kidding. You know what to do. There can be no evidence.
Shala says, only if I get to have the crown. Never mind. Abort.
Yeah. When I can shake Tonsque's left hand, you'll get the crown.
Holy shit. Well, we gotta go kill a monster real quick to fetch it.
Oh God, sense motive. Here we go.
No. That sheet has to say that because it's not the next month of Kingdom Rolls yet. All right. So for Karzug, you actually look down and you see that she's taking a moment because she actually has a +1 in sense motive, which is, I think, like worse than you. He's like 1/5 what you are. So that being said, she looks down. She looks down at the thing and she looks up at you a little perplexed and says, Warlord, I'm not entirely sure what you mean by this. I'd like to believe that I've offered what I've been able to offer to the clan. I try to make sure that I bring satisfaction to all the members of the clan and, of course, to you. Oh, shut up, Jake. Shut up, Jake.
I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, come on.
You said satisfaction,
Oh,
dude.
God.
Okay.
Jake had that holding back a laugh because he's not in the public. You know what I mean? Like,
how would he say this? Basically, we'll be like, so our clan is missing. It's, I don't know, the chief's wife. What the hell's that title? Like, what?
Whatever you want it to be, it's your clan.
Your
The warlord, the war lady.
the
Consort
warless.
is
No, that's terrible.
consort is the
War
typical
more.
term.
A war. No, that sounds too much like war whore.
Oh, this happens to be able to play for a week. I blame Jake. Go ahead.
Yeah, war
2
whore.
weeks, it's
I
been 2.
dated one of those. That's how I got both these tattoos. Yeah, breakups, same girl. Terrible decisions. So I need the clan needs a first lady. I have no idea. So we'll think of a title for that. And the clan also needs an heir.
That's what you say to her?
Yes.
You're saying, pardon me, neighbor, may I use your oven? I'd like to bake a bun.
Yeah, but Norin doesn't really. He doesn't really ask. He's like, it's that like this is clan duty. This is responsibility.
Yeah. No, I gotcha.
Except for we're gonna add the Pikachu I choose you in this.
Yeah. And just to set the stage for everybody else, so this doesn't come off as creepy as it maybe feels on the nose. The whole concept is that the characters, if it hasn't been picked up until this point, have actually been somewhat spending a considerable amount of time with one another. He often calls on her. She often stays behind to consort, give advice a little bit extra afterwards. She's proven her merit time and time again. So there's already been a bit of flirtatiousness that's happened up until this point. So the idea that he's delivering these like horrible fumbled lines that are more or less like demanding you be wife and make me baby, that's not because the character is like actually making these kinds of demands. It's character fumbling words, not able to process and say it in a way that would be viewed as a modern day romantic, but the character actually genuinely understands what he's saying. Even though she has only a +1 in sense motive, she also has spent a considerable amount of time with him and so understands him, even if showing a big ringlet and being like, you this thing, yeah? She didn't get that necessarily at first. So going back to the in-game aspect of it, like the clan needs a you said something, and we also need an heir. What was that? The clan needs a
consort or first lady or
yeah.
I need to look up a good name for that. It's gonna bother me.
You're fine. Consort works because consort literally means spouse, right? So you'd be like, our clan needs a consort, and it's time it's time we start working on an heir. Kind of like, once again, like laying it down hard, picking it up soft. So you deliver the line as best you can, and she thinks for a moment. Once again, you try to piece it together, and she says, Narin, warlord, you spent a considerable amount of time in the north with the northern clans of Kajinksi. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I've been doing the best I can to study. They are all Kajinksi born and raised, aren't they?
That is correct, to my knowledge.
I'm obviously not from Kajinksi. Adopted in, granted, and for that I appreciate what you've offered to me, and of course the work that I had done with the other clan prior. I'm from Paradel. We all know what they call us. I understand what you're trying to say here, but would this not negatively impact the clan? Others' view of us?
Since when have others' views mattered anything to Kuchibashi? In Kuchibashi, you make it on your merit and your strength.
But when dealing with the northern clans, it's also about finesse and diplomacy. Something I'm not particularly good at, but at least I understand the significance of it.
Well, it's a good thing that my Naginata is diplomatic and finessable.
Last part is a bit sus.
Legit though. I got
Yeah.
dick score
nice.
attacks. Yeah. No.
Look at this,
So-
Dex +3, baby.
Yeah.
He's a little nimble.
That's what he calls it. No. So
Hey, but it lights up on command.
You trained yourself well, it seems.
Anyway, so you so she thinks for a few extra moments about this, and she says, "And you're not concerned about the negative impact this is going to have on the clan?"
Haven't thought about it once.
Then she nods and says, I accept.
Excellent.
She'll
Back to work.
yeah, kind
No,
of,
I'm just kidding.
she'll kind of like step forward and is it one of those things where she takes the crown and places it on her own head, or circle it, I should say, or you can describe what it looks like, because I don't think you did last time.
No,
Or
it would
do
be
you
a-
place it on her head for her, or is it one of those
I
like?
would place it on her head. It would be a very simple circlet, silverish, with very minor looks. We're not very gaudy here. And I don't expect super fine craftsmanship.
Oh my god, you know what it's probably made out of? If you want it to be simple but still look like kind of shiny or silverish, be very practical, it can be made out of aluminum.
Why did
I
you
know it
say
sounds
like it was
goofy
bread?
nowadays, but aluminum used to be like so fucking rare. It was worth more than gold. Like an aluminum crown is like a legit thing. It's not the most durable thing in the world, but it has magic to make it durable. It's a magical item. Like it being made out of aluminum would make it a very simple looking thing, because we all know what aluminum looks like, but would make it extremely valuable. You know what I'm saying? Or is that
Sure.
outside of what you think would
No, that's fine. I think that's fitting.
all right. Cool. So it's literally a
Although
crown
I
made
feel
of-
like that was just your attempt to say aluminium, but
well, I mean, I like the word aluminium. I think it's
That's
the
fair.
it's one of the few times that I'm like, all right, well, you know what? Those other countries, they did it right. If you actually look at the word, it actually spells
spelled
aluminium. Whereas if
Yeah.
you look at the way that they spell armor, I'm like, I'm gonna put my armor on. They're like, but what about your armor? You know? Oh, yeah. So she takes the thing, she places it onto her head, and obviously she doesn't get the effects right away. That takes 24 hours for them to set in, right? So she places it on her head, and for a moment she actually like genuinely grows a smile, and she'll kind of like look up at you and gives you like a now that like the contractual part of it's out of the way, the understanding, the concern for the clan, for the safety and well-being of the warlord that she has sworn to give fealty to, and the well-being and prosper of the clan, which she also has sworn fealty to. Once that's kind of like out of the way, she's able to enjoy the moment and the significance of what it means to her as an individual and you as an individual beyond your titles, just you as people. And I imagine she sticks around and has like a little bit of conversation with you, including the steps of, so I imagine I'm not going to be wearing this today and now outside of the this chamber, as we're likely going to want to make something a bit more grand of this. That's her nice way of saying, where's my wedding, bitch? Like,
so oh yeah.
Just like-
Sounds like
if
in
you
real
like
life,
it,
like
you should have
a
put a crown on it. If you like it, then you should have put a crown on it. Whoa, oh. No, okay.
If you knew how many times I hear versions of that song sung to me at home, it's starting to scar.
If you like it, if you like it, you should have put a butt plug in it. No, didn't work. I had to just say
Late.
plug.
Anyway, yes. Well,
These are
after all that, I'd
versions.
be like, yes,
Versions?
we'll plan a grand festival and hold a tournament because soon Clan Kutrabashi will have to ride to war. The Red Mongrel is is being a bitch. No. 142 peacocks in the reception. You're gonna have to settle for axe beaks, Viking.
Oh no. I love that my big fat Karak wedding.
My big fan.
You just have friggin' Ton Street walking around with a bottle of Windex.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
That's so
except we
bad.
can't wipe it.
So hey Jake, what are you doing?
Sorry, you said that. Not only was it funny, my mind immediately went to like Windex holster on the belt. Like, oh boy. Oh.
That whole thing could be really fun though, if you have like a big wedding thing and a tournament and all that stuff.
Oh, he
Yeah.
intends
So
to.
so that's what we're gonna host.
Okay.
I kind of want to
That's more
challenge
than
Tom's
like
Greed to
kingdom
teach.
stuff too. That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna do the official edict.
We all
So-
we all make some NPCs to fight in the tournament.
So why don't
well,
we
you have advisors.
we know how
and
yours
things,
are
you know
gonna
what I mean? It'd be.
I didn't hear what you said. Sorry. I missed
I
it.
was just reminding Cell that last time his NPC tried to fight my land, he got his ass beat.
Dude, I rolled so bad.
To be fair, the last time your PC fought in his land.
No, it went well. You know, I just got a goddamn fire elemental chasing me now.
Can't
Yeah,
take the heat,
whatever.
get out
I
the
got-
forest. You know?
I got throated by a purple worm. What do you want?
All right. So
Yeah, that's also true. I did too.
So back to the game, like jokes aside, back to the game. So Nick, you obviously do this. You guys plan out the details. We've already kind of discussed that in the meta. There's no reason to push it any further. Was there anything else now that we spent like 2 hours more or less goofing? It was like I've been done in like 5 minutes. Is there anything else that you wanted to kind of like focus on? Or your clan?
Not really. I wanted to mention to Ryan about the Red Mongrel and his dastardly ice god ways, and seeing if there's any way we can use the ashes from the Scar and Eldamar to either to combat each other, or if we can leverage that to our advantage.
And this is my apologies. Who are you speaking to about this again? Oh,
I think it was
what's
Ryan.
his name? Yeah,
He's
Ryan.
my-
Okay, yeah.
he's my
Because the
magic guy.
discovery. Yeah, there was a discovery he had made
Yeah.
last time. And so I believe we had discussed this last time we actually had Kingdom Rolls, and it's one of those things where he's like, I would like to look into this further. As I have time, I will make it a priority. Sorry, when I have more free time, I'll make it my next priority, you know? Because obviously he's handling other tasks that you've given him, right? So more or less that just means next Kingdom Roll, if that's what you want him to work on, he will, you know?
Awesome.
Cool. Anything beyond
Did
that?
I don't think we had anything other really pressing outside of that.
Cool. I did have another thing I was going to do for your clan, but I wanted to go back to Cell first and then kind of have you deal with somebody coming into your chamber. Cool. So unless there was anything else, Nick, I'm going to go back to Cell for his hot moment, and then we can actually do... listen, Jake might not want to RP. Don't forget, he's had COVID for 8 or 9 days and has 2 very sick children. So he might just be enjoying laughing with his friends and being quiet for a little bit, you know? If Jake wants to RP, he can yell at Cell. We'll all enjoy
True.
it. I'll do this.
True.
We'll
Even
get-
I'll enjoy it. Wait,
Yeah.
what?
All right, well,
Yeah,
Okay.
Joey, be sensitive.
cool.
So all right. I wanna bring my crown to Lenny. Okay.
Okay.
I don't. I
Wait,
want
hold
him
on.
to legend one.
Hold up. Nick gives a crown to his lady, and you give your
Oh,
crown to your
no, okay, he brought a circlet, okay? This is kind of significantly fancier. And it's
Who's
obviously
fighting
for my love Lenny.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, I want Lenny to... So, because he has the item in hands, it takes the 1d4 times 10 minutes to Legend Lore?
Correct.
Is that
That is almost positive accurate. And chat, just so you understand what's going on, for those of you that don't see the videos that tell you this, Lenny has the ability to effectively use legend lore effectively in game once an in-game month, right? So if the person has the thing at hand, he's able to more or less ask a question and get in 1d4 times 10 minutes get an answer.
is it a question? The question is like, what is the lore of this item, right?
Yep, that would be, well, I mean, think about it for a second, how you want to phrase your question. Do you want to, right?
Okay, so I have to ask a question about the item. Can you? I need clarification. So I've never used this
Well, so
stuff.
legend lore brings to your mind legends about an important person, place, or thing. If the thing is in hand, or if you are in the placing question, my apologies. So the thing is in hand, you're able to just get those informations. If you
Yeah.
have only detailed information on the person, yeah. So my apologies. You have it in hand, you're able to get legend of the item. My apologies.
Yeah, the lore of the item. So maybe it's crater, you know. I don't know. I guess you'll tell us what we figure out. But I bring it to Lenny. I'm like, Lenny, you I assume maybe this has been something I discussed with him at some point because he has to technically gets to get notes from his Arcane Congress, or whatever.
Correct.
Can you tell me what you've learned of the crown? And I bring it to him.
He looks it over and says, "Oh yes, I've been compiling a degree of research about this for some time. I think I know. I think I was able to. There's just so many tasks going on at the moment, and Jorman is blah, 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 except he doesn't exactly speak Perrin or Common or Karak very well. So I always have to. Anyways, it's just been let me see if I can compile this. Can you give me some time? Maybe like an hour or something?
40 minutes to be exact. I'm joking.
Why 40 minutes?
It rolls a 1d4. Oh wow, it takes Lenny 20 minutes to do it.
He says, can I have like an hour or something?
Yeah, of course, Lenny. I go and, wait somewheres. Maybe in the temple. I go to the temple, pray for an hour.
It takes you that long to walk all the way to like a chamber pot to take a piss and come back. You know what I mean? So, because you're huge, expansive. Oh wait, no, it's just a house. Jake's the one building a castle because he's boss. So
I probably live next to the temple anyway.
I don't know, for some reason in my mind, the idea of Varix having a castle just makes me think of Bowser. So
I see it too now.
Right?
You gotta get a shell. You gotta get a shell, Jake.
Right?
I respect it.
So anyways, he should have played a Twirtle. So
That's another thing.
all right. So you go away. When you come back to speak with Lenny, he's like, "Oh, hey, there you are, Warlord. I was wondering what took you so long."
You said an hour. It's been an hour almost exactly.
Is it? Oh, I felt like it's been half a day.
I won't ask any. Tell me your information you've gained, Lenny.
Yes. So this crown is unique to say the least. I mean, first and foremost, did you know that this crown actually belonged to a ruler? I meant.
Yes,
before.
I understood. I took the guess.
Well, it actually belonged to the ruler of the Vidora Empire.
Spell that for me. Scott. Vidora?
Yeah, Vodora Empire.
Vodora.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
Qusagon was the last wearer of the crown. And Qusagon is Quesegon. Qusagon was the wearer of the crown last, and was able to use it to stave off the well, you know what the crown's protective abilities are. You know how it's able to keep you warm when there is freezing cold.
Yes, of course. I've used it much to traverse through the frozen pit?
Well, this crown was able to be used to stave off the colds. You see, the Barren Lands have always been a place of treacherous winters where many different dangers would come in, whether it be giants coming down from the mountains or other beasts that would rise from deep within Aroth. These creatures would come and cause havoc and mayhem, and this crown was to protect them from it. But there's legend as to where it is that this crown even came from, how it was that it was created. It is said that this crown was actually created when there was a betrayal done to not Quizzagon, but instead one of the forebearers long before, generations before, a priest or priestess of Kraleen, or whoever was the god or goddess of fire at the time. You know how gods be; they changed names over the years. Anyways, there was a betrayal by them, and so in retribution for what it was that had been done, it is said by legends that the soul of this person was torn from their body and imprisoned into the crown itself to forever serve in all loyalty forevermore. It's said that the reason why this was so significant is because the ruler at the time, like I said, the grandfather or some such of the Quizzagon, they were kind of an oaf and didn't really win the hearts or the minds of the people, but this betrayer, they had a way of moving the people, of convincing them of their own passions, their own desires. And when the discovery was made of what was happening, the rebellion was able to be quashed. An example was made. An example was made not only to permanently punish them for what it was that they had done. An example was also made to take their talents and bring them to serve forevermore anybody who is of the bloodline or lineage of that family.
This is the crown. Then how am I to use it, or is that more of a symbolic meaning?
Shrugs. I don't know that part. Maybe that's just a bunch of bullshit. Oh, I'm sorry. What do they call it out here?
No,
Boar hooves or
bullshit.
Bullshit. That's what it is. That's just a bunch of bullshit.
Maybe not. Lenny, I call out to you, guard. Go get a shy. I call out to the guard and wait for a shy.
The guard looks back and says, "Warlord, a shy guard?" Because most of us have pretty outgoing personalities.
The curator.
My apologies. And like runs off to go get a shy. Lenny looks at you.
Sometimes Lenny.
Lenny's like, yeah, I don't know why you assigned that one to me. Here's a shy. Why can't I find
The curator.
Yeah, why can't I find them
above.
in your advisors?
It's above Arima, below Aaliyah.
I'm in Kushibashi.
That might be the reason.
That is exactly the reason. My apologies.
Yeah.
Eventually a shy returns.
Welcome, my curator. Lenny, I know you have a lot to do, Lenny. So I'm only telling you this so it's noted for the future. Because we have the more pressing matters of the fire elementals to deal with. I have uncovered information. I know your specialty, Ashai, is archaeology. Right? Isn't that what it is? You seek to find truth.
History, dungeoneering, geography, truth seeking. Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Archaeologist. Yep.
I have uncovered records. I paid for them in the capital, Kajinxio. I pull out like several pieces of paper. And I kind of lay them out in front of Ashai and the information I collected from the sages. These people that lived in these lands, I believe they owned this crown and other information that will soon be more disclosed once I am more prepared. But read through this information, Ashai and Lenny, and see what you two can figure out. Assign you mostly, Ashai, as Lenny is awfully busy. This seems also your specialty.
One moment, please.
As you go read Ashai's list. Oh, never mind. Cool.
Are you happy with that result, or do you wish to modify it?
I'm gonna luck it, okay? You know, so we gotta use a luck sometime today. We don't have luck.
Let me just
That true?
confirm that's true, and that is true. Nobody loves you.
Well, because no one knew. Unlucky.
Okay. So Ashai looks over and says, "The Valoran Empire. Is that what you're referring to?"
I guess so. That's what Lenny had just told me about this crown. I point to it.
I am familiar with little tidbits of history of the Valoran Empire. As you know, I was born and raised in Kajinxi, but being Perrin has led me to study other details of what our land has to offer, what it was before, how it came to be. The Valoran Empire existed here before even the Daelish Empire did. The Daelish Empire was the one that inevitably overthrew or destroyed that empire many years ago. Lenny's sitting there and like paying attention, like, oh. Mm-hmm.
Was the Valoran Empire's destruction soon before the Horde?
I would not very familiar with the dates. I don't know if it was shortly before or decades, centuries, whatever it may have been. But the Valoran Empire fell to a combination, if I recall correctly, of circumstance as the expansion of the Daelish Empire, of the Dalelands. They were in a lot of the region that we would know as Leidano nowadays. They also stretched into a bit of what we would identify as being Kajinxi now, but they also had a good portion of territory in what we call the Barren Lands. They apparently found value in the lands, whereas most other nations saw it as being a constant war with no benefit. So, but things, if I remember correctly, were different back then. It's been so long since I looked into this. I'll read the details and see if there's any additional insights, but I'm not sure that there will be.
I point to like the notes as I said, as I've uncovered, there is shadow worshippers in the Dalelands on the border of the Barren Lands, what is now our lands. They would actually keep at bay the hordes or the Kuruk. It is convenient for the fact that about 115 years ago, or is when they disappeared, the Daelish destroyed them, which was about right before the horde struck in a decade or so.
It is possible that coincides and is the same thing. I will look into this, Warlord, and see what I can discover. Though I imagine the records you have here are probably about as deep as they go.
And look into this, see if you can find information on the deeper sects of their faith.
Deeper sex.
I point to the notes again, where it outlines the fact that these people worshipped specters and ethereal and other ethereal undead, and then there's the deeper ones that literally worshipped like shadows and shades.
Gotcha. Okay. And so, nods and says, I will, of course, look into this. And Lenny was listening to the whole thing, or at least looked like he was listening to the whole time. Then you, like, when you look over at Lenny, when you two are done talking, you look over at Lenny, and Lenny just seems to be kind of like, almost like daydreaming.
I just leave. I let him be.
Don't even address it. You just, like, turn and walk out.
Yeah. I'm mostly sending this to the shy anyway.
Okay. And so, you turn and leave, and leave Lenny to a shy. They can discuss further or whatever it might be. Cool. Anything else? Your brother, maybe?
Yeah,
You
I'm
want to do your brother now?
I guess it's probably a good time to do my brother. Well, okay.
Clip it. Clip it.
It is time that I meet my brother's wife with my sister and mom and dad.
Wow, that's all inclusive.
Yes, the whole family. It's gonna be a whole family's fun.
That's like some Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
I guess
grandma's
also-
grandpa's situation.
Probably what my brother-in-law, my sister's husband. I have a name for them.
I'm gonna bring the cinnamon butter.
Cinnamon butter is so good. I don't even want to hear it. Okay. You cannot tell me you've had cinnamon butter and didn't enjoy it.
I make honey cinnamon butter when I make cornbread at home.
Cinnamon butter is so fucking good. Wait, I have the description. I don't know if I have the backstory. Some whisper notes. All right, it's fine. We can continue. I'll find it eventually.
I like unsalted butter. That's what I like.
You also used to put rice milk in your cereal.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and
Disgusting
I suffer the
animal.
consequences for that.
That's
when I
a-
became lactose intolerant. My body
Yeah,
was
that's-
like, "You fucking me? No, I fuck you." I was like, "Oh." Right?
When did this game start? It started in 2021, right? Yeah, it did.
Uh,
It never
January,
goes bad.
February,
You
yeah.
can keep it forever.
Yeah.
It's because it's
That means that's what my
disgusting.
notes are.
Oh, it goes bad. During the beginning of the pandemic, when the grocery stores were just like empty and there wasn't anything, I actually bought 4 small containers. So you don't have to open a big one all at once. You just have like little containers of rice milk, just in case you ran out of milk and we like needed something. Never opened it once. Now it's likely gone bad, in which case I just more or less wasted food, which is like a crime to humanity. And it's like, glad I did that panic shopping too.
I found it. Okay, I got the
we
names
didn't
of my
hoard
family.
anything. I was like, oh, okay.
I got the names of my entire family. I got it.
Okay. And raise your hand if you wanted to hear the names of his whole family.
Well, it's important, I guess, right?
No, not even anybody in chat said so. So I guess we good. Moving on. I'm just teasing.
Unlucky.
You came up with these on
Unlucky.
stream, didn't you? On your own channel?
No, these I came up with when forever ago, before like when I was making my backstory.
Oh, it was probably like while you're sitting there, like while Jake was having one of his long RP moments, you kind of like, oh, let me just fill the time.
No, I think I made this before the game started. But
Well, that was probably the most RP he had before the game started. So
sure,
You,
his solo session.
So-
Probably the most. I'm sorry, Jake.
he knows. He knows.
Bro,
his
you can't
place.
give me too much shit. You couldn't even go more than half a game without me on Wednesday. Campaign couldn't move forward. That's what I heard.
I mean, it's a fact. We literally need your character. I mean, I was gonna ask Joey to come in and sub in. Interchangeable, you lot, but
Okay, so my dad's name.
like, hey,
because I know
Viking,
all of
hop on this call.
I know all of you care about what my family's name is. My dad is Shirio.
Curios,
Shirio
Honey Nut,
Shado. My mom's name is Hiwa Shado. My sister's name is Yasu Yes, I had these. It's been so long.
Yep.
Yasui,
Yasui, yep.
Senchi, which is the clan name because she was married into another clan. And then my brother-in-law is Senchi Yukano.
Yukano. Cool.
Got it.
So
There you go. I know everyone cared. I had these written down.
who are you going to speak to right now?
I'm going to my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Want to write this name in the chat? I guess I can. I'm gonna meet my brother. I guess I don't know. How is my brother doing? It's up to him, right?
Yeah, so you wanted to invite the entire family to meet this girl and the significance of her and so on and so forth. So you were trying to stage together a little event or whatever it is, nothing that would cost a big BP or whatever it is, just a little events to allow this to happen, right? Cool. So you set together that event for it to come into place, and her name is Day, as a reminder. So
Day.
for it to, the whole thing to come into place or whatever it is, and as you're actually, I need you to go ahead and do me a favor. I need you to roll for me.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Sorry, I was typing something in Roll20 chat, so I had to just take it out. What do you
You're
need
good.
to roll?
You're good. I'm just double checking characters and their significance. Your clan. Ha! That makes perfect sense. I need you to go ahead and roll for me a loyalty check for your clan. 1 second before you do it, though.
Is it going to be modified to?
I need you to go
Pestle
ahead
stats?
and roll me a loyalty, which is a +0. I need you to roll me a loyalty with a +5.
Oh. Okay. What's my loyalty right now?
1d20
Base.
+5.
1d20 plus 5? Okay.
Mhm.
It's not really a loyalty check. Advisor task, you mean?
No, this is against your. Yep, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. It's very average.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That is not what I
Yeah.
meant. You are
Yeah,
correct.
I know. I'm so confused. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, you're rolling me a 1d20 +36.
Yeah, okay. I would say that makes way more sense. Yeah, because Tessel doesn't have his stats in there, does he? Unlucky. Let me just check to make sure the stats of the clan's right.
It is.
Is not right.
Oh, because you're doing it on the Roll20. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Let me show Roll20. Where actually roll it?
39, 44, 40, 36, and 40. Okay. Okay, Roll20. It's 20 is updated. So loyalty is Royal Enforcer. Oh, I'll still succeed.
Bro.
I have to.
Bro.
Yeah, that was very close. I rolled really low, but
Bro, that was so close, especially considering you don't have any luck. Oh boy.
yeah, I only failed on a 2 or a 1 in that case.
So, you set up this meeting and you go have it. And literally the same day of the meeting, as you're walking towards it, you're walking through the one of your hallway, like a hallway or whatever it is, or sorry, across your like open grounds, heading towards the meeting. When out of like the corner of your eye, you see what's her name, Atelia, kind of like sees you walking across the way, and kind of like you look over, you see her, you give her a bit of a nod, whatever it is, and she notices, you can see that she's thinking for a second. It's like if you were watching, you tell she's trying to contemplate for a second, and she's like, ah, fuck.
Yeah.
And then kind of like pushes herself off of where she happened to be, and briskly walks over to catch up to you. It even says, "Wait up."
I stopped, a little surprised, but you know. Yes, Aaliyah.
Not Aaliyah, Atelia.
Oh, it's not Atelia. Yeah. Yes, Atelia.
Walk and talk, Warlord. I don't want you to be late to your meeting.
I nod and I continue walking.
Joyous day, isn't it?
I nod.
Your brother has been spending a good amount of time with this woman, hasn't he?
I nod. You can speak your concern. No need to talk in, around your point.
It's not a concern so much as an observation. Warlord, do you know this day?
I'm on my way to meet her for the first time.
Nods. Warlord, our clan is large enough that you wouldn't know every citizen that lives within it.
There's far too many. There's a couple thousand people.
But it's small enough you'd probably easily know the people that would probably find their way around your brother fairly often.
I might.
Well, at the very least, you'd think somebody would easily be able to find out any information about them whatsoever. Like
I would
friends,
assume.
family, where they were
I see.
raised, the house they grew up in, favorite color,
I
fears.
see your point. Is this day a blank book? A missing record?
Yeah, she's not from around here.
Does she seem like she's someone from Kajinxi?
Oh, yeah. I think she's probably from Kajinxi. I don't know her well. Watch her. Listen. Listen, I'm not going to go horning in on your family events, even though we know I would be the life of the party. The simple fact of the matter is, you're going to have to rely on your own wits on this one, Warlord. Good luck. Because you're going to have to listen to her cadence, speech patterns, choice of words, idioms, things like this. Pick it out. See if anything jumps out at you.
I'll be able to
You know what?
identify
You and Aaliyah sleeping together, right? It wouldn't be so weird if you brought her into the thing. She could probably
I
pick it
stare
up.
at her in confusion. No?
She looks at you like genuinely shocked, like, wait, you and Aaliyah aren't sleeping together?
No.
I am so sorry.
Did
I
you
thought
lose a
you and her
bet?
were... No, genuinely thought that you two... Listen, I kept out of it because I didn't think it was... You're the warlord. I wanted to respect you, unlike Naito. So I kept out of it entirely. I am so sorry. The others are probably right. So...
Wait, what? You
Warlord.
cannot stop at that statement.
Warlord,
You have to finish it. You cannot leave till you finish it.
I've said all my statements.
No, you did not. What are the others saying?
You work hard.
You're gonna have to. You're gonna have to finish it.
You spend an awfully lot of nights alone there, Warlord. The only people ever in your vicinity late at night are the guards.
I just shake my
He
head.
works hard for his money.
They're wrong as well. I
She
am
shakes
just
her head and
not-
goes, "Oh no, it's so much worse than that."
Wait, okay, you have to finish it then. You can't leave me hanging on this.
Okay, boy. So there is a bet going on.
I figured if it's with you, there's a bet. I have no doubt of it.
She smiles. I'm hoping, though now I feel like, all right, I might as well just come out and ask. No, I can't ask. It's too
No,
disrespectful.
you have.
Warlord, good luck in
No,
that chamber.
you can't leave. I don't. You cannot. You have to.
She says, "Doesn't sound like an
Ask.
order," and starts
Oh,
walking
my-
away.
A
Do
man
you order
just
her to
wants
stay
to-
or no?
We'll talk about this later.
She
I'm already
goes,
running late.
"From what I understand, you have all the patience in the world, Warlord," and keeps walking.
God, you're someone that decides to put work above all else. Look where he gets him. My lord. God. Now very self-conscious of himself because he hasn't thought about love or anything because he's dedicated to, making
Yeah.
a nation.
Which is pretty legit considering his backstory was young person rose to power out of like a vengeance scheme and decided to stay there. Like,
Yeah. And is that like, wow, vengeance is kind of not the choice and I'm trying to make something hard. He probably stops in front of the door for a moment to cool himself down, take a moment. And then he enters the room that is arranged with it.
Awesome. You go into the room with your family. I have no idea how to roleplay all the different family members.
Yeah, don't worry
I'm
about
just
it.
going to assume this is an episode of Seinfeld, and you are George Costanza. So, anyways,
Listen, mom is learned, wise person. Dad is, humble blacksmith. Okay,
it's
sister.
definitely not George Costanza.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. It's obviously a lot of people that don't come up very often because they're just my family. They live in the background.
Exactly. So it doesn't really matter unless they need to deliver a line or whatever it is. So you go into the room to go meet with Day to have a bit of conversation with her, so on and so forth. So we'll do a little bit of role play with Day, and then afterwards we can worry about making checks to see the significance. But I'm sure you want to actually in-game meet the character. So
Yeah, definitely.
your brother Naito is going to actually introduce Day to you. Day. It's day or night. 1 second. Day is early enough along that you actually can't really see her showing yet, unless it's one of those like hold the shirt back with the hands to show the bump starting to arrive. She's not really properly showing yet, so
How do
it's
you spell
probably in
her
that
name?
like 3-4 month range. What's up, sir?
How do you spell her name? Is it Dae or
Yep,
Day?
just DA.
Da. That's what I thought. Okay.
Mhm.
Day is what? Yeah. Okay. I'm. Tessel is not normally a nervous person, or if he is nervous, he's really good at hiding it with his bluff. But this is like Tessel's kind of nervous here, right? This is kind of strange for him. This is something very different than his normal life.
Seeing Day, you can see almost immediately why it is that your brother was kind of drawn to her. I mean, she is a beautiful woman. Beyond the fact that, simple fact of the matter is, pregnancy brings a certain glow to you, right? That actually, usually a little bit later in the pregnancy, but it's around now where it really starts to kick in, right? Like she has this unearthly kind of like glow to her, right? Her eyes are that type of eye that has, almost like the golden inlet around the almost like golden starburst around the actual iris. The eye beyond that looks like it's maybe greenish in color, though it could just be the way that the blue light's filtered through it. She has very prominent eyebrows. Her hair is very well maintained, very well groomed, probably because she was meeting the whole friggin' family and the warlord for the first time. She's dressed comfortably, but she also is just like comfortably attractive person, like somebody that's like not like, oh my god, jaw drop, elbow, but at the same time somebody who clearly is comfortable with just being an attractive person, right? When she walks over to greet you, she gives you the appropriate greeting for your clan and so on and so forth, and allows you, of course, to speak first as the warlord. Naito, but introducing the two of you and says, Warlord Tessel, brother, I would like to introduce to you Day.
It is my honor to meet you. The lady has captured my brother's heart.
She kind of like gives a little bit of a bow and says, Warlord, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've heard nothing but great things about you by literally anybody I've spoken to in the streets, in the shops, and of course certainly by your brother.
He nods. I hope I live up to your expectations then. Because I know my people spout many high tales.
She says, I think the concern is more as to whether or not I might live up to the expectations to you and your whole family. She says, kind of like looking out to the fact that mom's right there, right? Come on, boys. We all know how hard it is introducing someone to mom for the first time.
Yeah, totally.
It's hilarious for us, but nerve-wracking for them, which is more hilarious for us. So,
I let my family run through this circulation of rotation, and I'm just listening in. I want to kind of focus on actually what Ateli was asking for a bit, like in the first couple minutes when she's interacting with everyone else, unless I'm like last to arrive.
sure. No. Well, I mean, it's up to you as to be first or last. I imagine you want to be early on to get that part out of the way before introducing the parents. So you guys can
Yeah.
chat back and forth about like, so on and so forth. So what were you asking? What Watelia was?
So I wanna ask you. So where do you hail from? What clan did you come from?
She smiles and says, "Oh, that's right. I did not grow up in Clan Shadow. I've just been fortunate enough that it's not something that's bothered Naito, and that we were able to
Only the
be familiar
youngest.
with one another."
Only the youngest of the Kuruk are born in Clan Shado. We are but a few years old.
She nods and says, "But there's already so much to offer here, and in such a short period of time since its existence, I believe it's even younger than myself, which obviously it is. She's nowhere near that young. She says, I believe it's even younger than myself, and yet you've already visited the northern clans for the winter ball."
It was a great honor the North bestowed upon our clan to visit them in the North in their ball. I believe I have made myself a cordial meeting with the Kroga. But where do you come from? Do you come from Kajinksi or elsewhere?
She says, "Oh no, of course I'm Kajinksi born and raised, Karak through and through. I have the she says, from an early age, teachings of the old ways have been a part of my upbringing, and I am just as capable with the blade as the next person." She says,
And I just still wait for an answer to the question because
She an-
that was not
she answered the question.
an answer.
You said you're from Kajinksi or elsewhere, and she said, "I'm from Kajinksi," and gave you
yeah.
an explanation.
Okay, that's fair.
She says, "If you're concerned as to whether or not I'd hold true to me the safety and well-being of Clan Shado, I do in fact hold it true.
I have no concerns.
Good. Then she,
I just
almost like a sigh of relief.
I like to know from which clans the people that come here are drawn from. It helps me understand what draws people to Clan Shado. If they're coming from the far north to seek a different opportunity, or from other southern clans because they hear tale of our safety and our protections.
Does your
It
clan?
always- It is always good to know who is immigrating.
Does your clan often take in many immigrants? I suppose it
Immigrants-
must if it's growing so quickly.
Immigrants come all the time. We generally I try to have it documented because we have certain enemies. Not that we would let anyone not come in here because of the clan they came from, but it is always good to know who's coming.
She nods. She says, "From what I understand, you actually have a close relationship with a couple of the other clans, including Clan Densho. And rumor has it they receive more by way of immigration than any other clan in all of Kajinksi. That they take in a lot from the Barren Lands, and so it leads them to be a." She looks at her brother. Roll a sense motive. At your brother, sorry.
My brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's this
Her
motive?
brother? Wait, what?
No, she's actually your sister.
Yeah, I'm really bad at these. Yeah.
Like you, so
My
she
brother's
looks
really
at,
bad at bluffing.
Mhm.
So
she looks at him, like one of those telltale signs, and then looks back and says, "Leads them to be the way that they are."
oh, I understand. He has a different way than my people. And it is in our way to respect others for their ways, even though we may not agree with it.
She nods, and she says, "I hope to one day visit Clan Densho, though hopefully, with some degree of protection beyond my own blade, considering how it is that they." And then, like, the door opens up, and the parents start coming in.
Mom, Dad. No, it's probably more formal than that, I imagine.
Yeah, your mother comes over and says, "Do you eat anything? You look like you haven't gained. Have you
Hey,
lost
that's
weight?"
not true. I went from 11 strength to 12. I'm literally stronger.
I love that. I love the idea. It's like when you meet your friend and like, no, I could bench like, 150, and you're like,
I actually did get stronger though. So okay.
you're like,
I'm
oh,
awesome.
is there a leak in the somebody let sand out of the weights? Like, you sure, bro?
Yeah, but I greet my parents, My dad's the first person that taught me how to use a sword, so maybe we talk about that for a moment.
Yeah, you guys talk for a little bit, so on and so forth. Da, 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 da. But at this point in time, I'm actually gonna have you go ahead and roll me knowledge local
General-
check.
I was hoping like a general charisma check. Actually, my knowledge local is better than my charisma. Please be high. Or not. I'm gonna luck
Would you
it.
like to luck it?
It's not a 15.
Yeah. You get through a couple hours of spending time with the family. So much fun.
So, if she's from the north, which I'm not suspecting at the moment, but if she is, I should know this more likely because I've actually, in game, I spent time studying the north when I was up there.
Correct. You can't
So.
tell where she's from.
Okay.
After several
Nice.
hours, eventually she will have to excuse herself. You can roll a sense motive on her excusing herself if you'd like, because that does feel a little suspicious. I'll explain why in 2 seconds.
Did I fail my sense motive before?
Oh, yeah.
+2, baby. I'm cursed. I can't roll
Oh wait,
high.
actually, no. Your original sense motive? No, you wouldn't have failed that. I'm sorry.
Oh, then I
With
get
the
to
11,
reroll.
I just didn't explain it because you understood what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means I get to reroll your rules.
My apologies, guys. Not my rules. Joey will set me on fire if I don't.
Please roll high. I rolled high-ish at once.
Are you happy with it?
Yeah, I can't get another level, so it's fine.
Awesome. So, anyways, you realize that as she gets up, she excuses herself for being tired, and whatnot. Be like, I'm so sorry. It's just the pregnancy has taken its toll on me this evening. It was a pleasure meeting all of you. I'm gonna, retire to my bedchambers for the evening, so on and so forth. You understand that might be true, but honestly, she's doing that whole polite excusing herself from the family meeting because it's probably the first time having the whole family together in a long while, and she's actually trying to be like a gracious guest and like remove herself so the family can be like have that moment to talk about her behind her back, since she doesn't she's not there anymore.
Yeah, I offered to escort her to her room.
She'll say, that's entirely unnecessary. If I needed an escort, of course I'd ask your brother.
Of course, it's my duty to offer.
Yeah. You can imagine like your sister makes some sort of joke saying she's already spoken for. But that just to make it like bring laughter to the table or whatever it is, and
Yeah.
then and then she would leave.
Guess the family sits at the table.
And you guys chat for some time. I imagine it goes on for a hey, listen, prima nocta is a thing for a reason, Steve. So for an inordinate amount of a time with the family, so on and so forth. And then eventually you're gonna like go and pass out or whatever, leaving you to a head scratching situation. Go ahead.
I'll at some point, like when the family's leaving, I'll talk to Naito on the side.
Sure.
Do you know where she hails from?
He raises an eyebrow and says, whatever do you mean?
I like to know where people are from. I could I wanted to surprise you too, but I wanted to figure it out and maybe bring a gift from where she's from, something to remind her of home.
He nods and says,
Do you need a bluff check?
Nope. He says, for the longest time, I genuinely believed that she was from Shado. I don't know very many people here. And she definitely seemed familiar with our culture. And she definitely seemed familiar with our weapons. So I assumed she was from Shado. I later on realized she wasn't, but I spent such a small amount of time with her. We don't often talk about the past, but instead the future. It's different.
I nod. Yeah, it is. Well, if you could figure this out for me so I can bring a gift, I would very much appreciate that, Naito.
He nods and says, I'm sure it could be looked into. I don't think it's going to be of any concern, he says, watching you. He says, uh, if our clan's going to be overthrown for somebody else to take power, I imagine it'll be from within. Like last time.
I nod. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen, considering there is nothing our people should be angry about.
Brother, they'd have to get past your bleed first.
I'm not in a laughing mood about slashing down a bunch of random peasants.
He says, I was more making a joke, and it's perhaps
Yeah.
gone on a bit too long without drawing any laughs. I'll stick to what I do best.
Hmm.
And I apologize. I have a personality of a Jake.
Yes, I understand. There's always a Jake in the family.
The old Kajinxie phrase, Jakeanality.
This is pity Jake day, not like hey Jake out the
I'm gonna
whole
go-
thing day.
I'm
sorry,
gonna go
I'm
see
sorry.
how
This is how we pity people.
Pete's doing. No, I wish him good night. And I'm
So
actually
if
gonna
I
go
was
check on Pete.
pitying you, I'd be nice to you. And then it would be pity. And pity's gross. Right?
So I say goodbye to my brother and I actually go check on Pete because I haven't seen him in a while.
Oh. You
And
want
he
to
was
Jake
kind
some
of-
RP.
He was yes, and also Tesla thinks of Pete as a friend, and he hasn't like been around.
Okay. So let's let you go to Pete, and then we'll come back to Nick. I think I said to do something with you, right?
Yes, although it's starting to make more sense now, right? Pete? Tessel?
No.
I don't know. There was a half cape involved.
Actually, you know what's funny is I actually have a different theory, but I don't know.
Theory, what?
Yeah, it's all good. Go ahead.
Wait.
It's okay. It's okay. Ace is fine. We still love you.
So I go meet Pete. He's in the barracks, so I go meet him at the barracks. I guess it's pretty easy to find Pete's bunk. Probably. I'm like, hey, where's Pete?
Well, Pete's
So
bunk
it's like,
used
oh.
to be nice, but now he's like, I don't do color anymore. Sorry, here you go, Jake. I'll set the tone for you. Go ahead, sir. You're Pete, not me.
No, you'd just find you'd find Pete in the barracks, just dressed in normal soldier garb.
By the way, Pete has
Armory they have on there.
on my Baldur's Gate game. Pete is by far the most consistently hits his target. He is by far the best attack roll. But friggin' Viking, Magoo destroys things, by far the most damage. So Pete might do the most damage just because he hits more often with smaller hits. But oh boy, the two of them like destroy. Like, I don't even need anybody else in my party. Rosin earns her.
High level
I guess.
fighters be like that.
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead, Jake.
You just find Pete in the barracks. Probably
Pete?
they're doing some drills or whatever they're doing in there, I don't know.
I don't know.
Pete, do
Well,
you
look.
have a moment?
Of course. He'll
Come.
put down I don't know, whatever he has in his hands and walk
No,
over to
pick
you.
up your weapon. We can talk while sparring a bit.
Goes and picks it up.
You've changed your interests a bit. Seem a bit off. Did something happen while I was gone? I haven't seen you
You
like
can
this.
see in his face, like when you mentioned did something happen, like there's a change in his demeanor, but he shakes his head and says, "No."
I nod. You've been practicing the sword more now? Does the violin no longer interest you?
I thought it was time to be more practical.
There's nothing not practical about a bit of music. Have you heard of the bards of Paradel? They create magic with music.
I have heard. Unfortunately for myself, I'm not one.
Hey, you say that. One day, maybe I'll be able to bring that type of magic here. Now on guard. And I kind of, spar with Pete for a bit. Help him on his form.
But, yeah, I don't even know what Pete wields.
It probably doesn't matter. It's outclassed by me by like
Oh,
a million
100%,
miles.
but I wonder what he actually uses.
What is his dex or strength?
I don't know. I'm trying to find him.
He's under my characters. Oh, I can actually see his character sheet. That's fine. You have a long bow. You have a short sword. Master short sword on.
Yep. That's what he uses.
Yeah. So I, duel with Pete a bit.
Yep.
Kind of help him on his form.
Yeah, he's not that great.
Practice makes perfect. If you need to talk about anything ever, let me know. I want you to know you are my friend, Pete.
Thank you, Warlord. I will continue to aid you in whatever way I can. Although
And
now,
probably. Say again.
he says, although my main focus for now is trying to better myself, and then he'll, clumsily attack at you.
Yeah, and I walk over as you attack. I like parry it out of the way, not even worrying about it. I walk over and help adjust like your arm and shoulder positions, your leg, the form. Now, the first step of mastering the sword, Pete, is mastering the body. The sword is the extension of your arm, so you must be able to control how you move and where your limbs are.
I see. That's different from my own clan. They tend to just hit things really hard. Hack.
Pete, I
Sure.
point to his arms. I touch his bicep. You're built more like me than those of your clan, Pete.
He nods.
So I believe my methods may be more of use to you.
I believe so. Doesn't seem I'm suited to that type of combat.
No, but there's no loss in that, Pete. I bet I could beat your old man in a duel. He needs his magic in order to even stand a chance.
Lucky he has magic then.
But yeah, that goes on.
I hear there's a wedding that might be happening. Maybe we'll see what happens over at this wedding.
You're talking about my wedding or Nick's, to be clear.
Next. That we haven't heard about yet.
Yeah.
It's the only one that matters.
Hey, okay? It's not wrong, yours is more important. Bye.
Yeah. He doesn't really say much else. You can tell without even rolling, he's holding back, like something happened.
Yeah.
He's seems unwilling.
Yeah, and Tesla's not gonna push him. Tesla's is gonna be like, he's gonna be there and just spar with Pete for a couple hours, right? And be there as in he's someone that's just there to be with Pete that Pete knows, right? So maybe that in a sense helps him. Right. And he'll probably do this throughout the months or whatever, right? Occasionally come over and help spar with Pete, to train with him, practice him.
Yeah, sounds good.
So Scott comes back perfectly on time.
Hmm?
Hey guys, just waiting for me?
Yeah, well, we were done.
Finished.
Oh, okay. I was listening to this catch up because it's so far behind. I always listen when I walk away. I was like, why do I not hear double voices? Oh, okay, cool. So I just probably missed, like, I heard the not even holding back and, oh, Pete did it. So I just missed maybe like 2-3 sentences, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's good to know I'm throughout the next year or whatever, right? I'll be practicing with Pete occasionally. Like,
yeah, let's see if either of you last that long. So you anything else we're doing for you, or are we gonna bring your focus away from you?
Uh, I tell it to look into Day. I find it very weird as well.
Sure. You tell Atelier to look at the day. You're
But,
actually
like,
able to
extra discreet. Like, she can't beat people for the information, okay?
look into it to her extra discreet. I'm gonna give you a minus. You can take anywhere between a -1 to a -5 on this. How discreet do you
Minus-
want her to be?
-3.
Okay.
Pretty damn discreet.
I need an advisor roll. 1d20 plus 2.
Against?
Mm-hmm.
Against?
Loyalty.
That's an stick measure, but okay. $14. What's the DC?
I'm sorry, what was that?
You normally tell us the DC when we're doing these checks.
Oh, my apologies. I was reading something. I was not paying attention to that. So to answer your question, to find out where she's from for Italia, I would say it's probably average. Nothing crazy difficult.
So 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
So trying to find out that kind of like basic detail is not the hardest thing in the world. So going back to what that is, she would actually find out. She would come back and report relatively quickly. Warlord. Just in a quick skimming of the situation, it seems as though day comes from the east.
Their own?
Seems as though.
I suspected as such.
It goes more than that.
Are you going to make my day worse?
Depends on if you want theories or if you want me to spend more time.
Tell me your theories and you will be spending more time.
Based off the locations where she was spending her time prior to becoming more intimately involved with Naito. Not only are these locations that your brother often frequents, but beyond that, these are also areas where we've certainly found spies of their own before. I would like to look into the situation to see whether or not she has any amount of contact with these spies. And time is of the essence, considering there's something brewing. She's
Something's
pregnant,
brewing.
Warlord. She's pregnant.
Oh, okay. You know, you didn't have to say it like that. You could have been easy, you know. God. What's with people being so cryptic today? Yes. Go. You have my permission.
Shakes her head. He looks back and says, "Did you figure it out yet, by the way?"
I command you to tell me. That's an order.
She full on throws her head back, laughing, and walks out the room.
I ordered. God.
Was the way you said it. Right? She's like, walked out the room. You're allowed one more check in this situation before you have to pass on to the next month, because this was meant for last month leading up until now. That's why.
Yeah.
So it's going to be
That's
another
just-
check from her. How discreet do you want her to be? Same?
I'll add a +1 onto my check. So a 2. -2. A little less
-2, okay.
discreet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go
-2,
ahead.
so I have a +3.
And this time you're rolling against challenging.
Which is a 16.
Yes, sir.
Fuck it. I'm gonna use my Winifreds. I was gonna say that for
You
something
got
else.
a Winnie sitting around?
I got a win like 3 weeks ago.
This motherfucker. All
You know,
right.
this is if there's a time
We
to
should
use
be
my
putting expiration dates on these.
well, this is the first
Like-
time we
like,
played
you know-
since I've got it. This is the first time I played since we got it. Oh, I
That
need
back
an
in the
8,
fridge.
please. That's not an 8. I can't even. It's unbelievable. I literally can't. Is this not? She doesn't have focuses or anything, does she? Unlucky.
Yeah, but you know what the DC is.
That doesn't fail by 7.
That's right. It's
Challenging
7,
is
not 5.
16.
That's right. 7, not
So.
5. I forgot these.
That is-
anything else you
someone-
can use to modify it?
There's nothing, right? I can't.
Hire
post lock in.
adventurers to assist.
Oh, I can. That's a thing. I forget that's a thing. But it's still every roll, right?
Do you want to hire adventurers to assist you?
Yeah, I think it's something Atelli would do, unironically. How much is it? It's like Joey, ping me the chart again.
It's under Kingdom, and then you go to events, and then it says it right there. So it's right here. It's written as a +2 for 4 BP.
What's the one above +2?
Boy, a +5 for 8 BP. That's an auto success, whereas the +2 makes it so you only have to roll a 3 or whatever it is.
Unlock a 50% chance?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll spend the BP. This is like super important. Unironically, this is super important. All right, I spend ABP on it. ABP on it. So I have a +5 to that. That the reroll.
Bro.
I spent 8. You said.
Yeah.
I have 35 BP in my bank. Don't worry about it.
So you're gonna re-roll the plus with a +13. No. You sorry. You just succeed then. Yeah. Cool.
What is it? What's my current number?
It's 11 plus 5 is a 16.
Oh, 16. Yeah, I can't get a +7. So yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
All right, all good.
So she comes back after like several days or so to follow up with you and says, Warlord.
That was quick.
Several days, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I assume like it was less
Warlord,
than a
I
week.
need you to do me 2 favors.
Do I need to bind my mouth so I don't start yelling?
I was going to say, first of all, sit down, and second of all, just don't talk to Jorman for a while.
What did you do to Jorman?
Don't worry about it. Listen.
Wait. Okay. Sit down.
Her contacts, the people she was spending time with, every one of them is either a spy of Theron or a suspected associate of those spies. All people on our watch list. And I mean, we're talking propped up and put before.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty terrible, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, Warlord, are you sitting?
Yeah. He's sitting.
I'd like to ask permission.
Continue.
This is no longer a personal matter for you. This is a matter of national security. This is security for our clan. I want to interrogate her. Personally.
I think it best we bring Naito in. He is a man of reason, and he deserves to understand the gravity of the situation.
Warlord.
I understand what you're going to say. Now go get Naito.
Warlord. He's really close to this.
I understand, but as a brother, I cannot not tell him.
Warlord.
I made my statement clear and loud, and this is not the situation where I want you to tell me about the bets, okay? This is, I am telling you.
Very well. Good luck with that.
You're staying.
She turns and starts walking out.
No, not this time. You're staying. You're going to be here.
I'm going
If
to
anyone-
retrieve
Okay.
Shadow Naito.
Yes. You know, tell the guards to get Shadow Naito.
Of course, Warlord. I will take care of that.
I will follow you. I'm not letting you slip from this. Do you understand, Atelia? I know you're a slippery son of a bitch, and that is not happening right now.
She stops and she says, "Okay. If you genuinely want me here, all jokes aside, our banter aside, I'll of course do whatever you ask of me, Warlord, but I do want to be clear.
I understand that you might not even like how you want to get the information. It might not be harm necessary, but you have to realize that he is my brother. He is also a fellow advisor.
Warlord, there's better ways for him to discover this.
We're not trickling this into him like he needs to be fed. He will not listen to hints and pieces of information if he's in love. The only thing we have to just tell him.
But then he can come to his own conclusion instead of that
is the same thing.
Deciding whether or not he wants to rebut ours.
We're poisoning his well of his perception that is breaking his trust.
Well,
I know you don't have the same morals as I do, Talia.
Says,
this is what
I'll have you know.
No,
that is true.
Okay, good. Now go get Naito.
Fuck.
And if you run away, I will find you.
No, she'll tell a guard to go get him because that's what you
Yeah.
told her to do.
Yeah.
It's one thing if she's being playful with you, but playtime has dropped off.
Normally, it's rather playful.
Yeah, it's cat and
Yeah,
mouse is fun. Whatever, but nope. So
This is
guard comes back and Naito returns and says,
this is probably a pretty thick room of like the atmosphere of the room is pretty. I'm trying to think of how to say it.
anyways,
I said the wrong word.
So Naito comes into the room and says, Warlord, I heard that you wish to have an urgent meeting with me. I'd like to request that it's not too long of one, as I am set to meet with Dave for dinner this evening.
Naito, I stand up. I sit in the chair at the far end of the room, and I gesture to the seat I was sitting in on the opposite side of the door. Sit here, please.
Like for him to sit in your chair?
Yes.
It really is that moment, Nick. So
no. This is like a smaller meeting room, I imagine,
yep,
right?
Yeah. But
he's sitting in.
He stands where he is. He looks down at the chair and looks back up at you and says, Warlord.
Sit, please.
He looks over to Talia, then looks back at you and says, there's a game happening here, and I'm not sure if I want to play it.
There's no game. There's no game. It is of great importance, and I believe I want you on the opposite side of the room from the door. he has a straight face. I don't.
Yep. Yeah.
But he has a straight face.
He looks down at it, looks over at you, looks over at Atalia again. Atalia just like, and he's just like, clearly it's one of those things where his military mind is kind of going, like planning out the strategy. Like, the reason why you put somebody into a specific position is because you either need to physically have them in that position or mentally be in that position. Are you trying to get them to see something from a certain perspective or be in a place of disadvantage? And like his military mind is kind of like going that route, right? And so
I just
finally,
start patting his back as I push him towards the chair.
You just go along with it because he has no true reason to refute it, so he goes along with it. And will uncomfortably sit down, very straight backed, not back of it, his back not touching the chair. You know.
Tesla's very uncomfortable. This has been a very uncomfortable week for him. Atalia has informed me of information she has gathered.
He looks across the room at Atalia and says, can we trust it? Looking at her, but to you.
We've always trusted Atalia. She has never betrayed our trust in her job. She is the one who arranged the magnificent plan that you agreed to extend the borders far to the south and closing in on Theron. Has she done anything to make you think it is not trustworthy information, Naito?
Arrange this meeting. Convenient for her. Position me where she wants it.
I've arranged all of this.
He also thinks you're a puppet. No. So
L, massive one.
I'm just kidding.
No one in Clan
He
Shade
knows.
I'm just kidding
I
because
know.
of the meme. He genuinely doesn't
Yeah.
think that. So he you say that, and then he nods because obviously he understands that's the case, and he looks to you and says, "Brother, you have a point."
I imagine you can guess why this room is so dire. I was approached by Atelia before my first meeting with Day that she couldn't find any information on her, like where she was from, who she knew, blank slate, which isn't too strange for Kijinxi. People come from all over the world, from all over the place to seek new life, even from Paradel. What? You whispered.
You said to seek new life, and so I continue with the Star Trek opening monologue.
So I asked just innocent questions about where she was from, about 3 times. Actually, 3 times at the beginning, and then 6 others throughout our encounter. Every time she danced around the answers. Sure, you recall some of them at the beginning.
He shakes his head and says, "I recall the two of you having a pleasant conversation with one another. Granted,
it was quite pleasant.
Interrupted by our parents joining us, but nonetheless."
I wish to learn where she was from, as I asked you to do. I figured Italia could do it quicker, no offense.
He puts his hands on the table and stands up and says, "What is the accusation that is being levied against Day?"
She's not only from Thoreau, which is not a problem. She is an active contact to all of the potential spies and known spies of Thoreau within Clan Jada.
So he looks at Italia and says, "Are we projecting?" If you don't respond immediately. Italia looks at him and goes, "Wow, that's an accusation."
Brother, Italia has been just as loyal to me as you have. Now, less following my commands, but that's besides the point. She's a bit of freer spirit. But she has done everything I've asked quickly and efficiently, and has never betrayed my trust. It would be strange for her to do it now. I'm not saying we do anything drastic today at the moment, Naito. But I just want to let you know this, and Italia will be having people keep eyes on who she meets with and what information she learns. It is important to the clan that Daron does not learn our secrets.
I have a child that's due in only so many months from now. Winters are particularly harsh. They can lead to planned events not coming to pass. I already have my attention split in so many directions. And now you wish me to also treat this woman who have already asked and received her permission to wed with, to hold her at an arm's length while you investigate as to whether her feelings toward me are legitimate or untoward.
I know it is a hard ask, but I know you would do the same.
He interrupts you and says, "No, Warlord, it is not a hard ask. I've sworn fealty to my family and to my clan before all else, every time before, and I will continue to do so. Investigate as you see fit. Do what is necessary. It is Clan Shado before all else, of course. That is the vow that I have made, and the vow that I intend to keep. While you're investigating this, I have a dinner to attend to, and a lie to keep. If there's anything else, She looks at him and says, "Where are you guys going to get your?" Which is just like turning the knife, and
Tell you that's not necessary.
he'll look to you and give like a bit of a bow and say, "Warlord, I'm assuming you'll fill me in on any details that are necessary, considering the situation. Not making a demand, but making an assumption."
Of course, that's why I let you know in the first place.
He doesn't even let you fully finish the sentence. It's like, well, of course, that's why I let you know. Like, and as you're saying the word first, he just kind of like turns and starts to walk out. It's one of those things where in a normal scenario it would be too disrespectful to tolerate, but maybe tolerating it now because A, brother, and B, this is kind of an awkward scenario. You know?
I just say as he's passing, I do this for you, brother. I do not wish to spy on your potential lover behind your back.
Walks out the door without saying another word and shuts it, not with a snap or a slam or anything, but the same way he always would.
It's about as well as I thought it would go.
So one time I had to tell my best friend that her significant other was cheating on her. Yeah, that went over about as well as that did right there. I was trying to warn you.
I understand, but he may be a bit mad now, and maybe for a while. But I think in the end he will respect the choice I have made, instead of lying to him and looking for this information behind his back, breaking his trust.
She shakes her head and says, "Personally, I think lies always make it a little bit easier. The
Yeah.
correct lies, salt and peppered in, makes it significantly easier for them to hear. For instance, I didn't tell my friend I was the one sleeping with them."
I mean, what good for you, Italia?
I mean, she's not
Now-
a good person. Let's be clear. Like, it's on the
Yeah,
character
yeah.
sheet.
Neutral
It says,
evil.
not good.
Just let them be tonight. That's the command.
And
that's not a
tomorrow I
playful
can
one.
interrogate her.
Don't interrogate, as I've said. You're very good at being discreet when you need to be. Use those skills.
So what do you want me to do? Continue watching her inside the city or send spies into Throne to find out what we can find out?
I want you to leave information for her to discover. Plant her own spies that are from Throne and have them meet with her. If she starts to convey this information that you're planting to her, false information, then we can discover if she's truly betraying the clan.
Something that's juicy enough she bites, but not so juicy it's obvious. Suppose I could have a couple of rumors about the warlord, she says to herself as she turns and starts to walk towards the door.
I'm gonna go ask Dorman that question.
She actually stops and thinks, I wonder if the same answer applies to Jorman.
What?
Oh. And then walks out the door, allowing it to close to the snap.
The B plot was great. What is this B plot? I think I know what it is. That again.
So anyways, back to Nick's clan.
Yeah, sorry, Nick.
No, you're not.
No,
Why'd you-
yeah, this is standard.
I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it was at least funny. Okay.
It was. I'm just
Totally
waiting
not
for Naito to decide that him being the true ruler is what's best for clan.
Yeah. Good
Shado.
luck.
And then, you
His
know.
plus 10 to hit is gonna be really scary.
Oh, I figure he'll just go and you'll have to go on a rescue mission in the mine and he'll just reintroduce you to your worm friend.
You know, that's pretty harsh.
It'd be scary. So Nick, first and foremost, Tonscreet, a quick meeting with you before I have the important one. This would
Yes.
take place like a solid, like just over a week after your last meeting with him. This is where he's first returning to duties back from like his like recovery time. Again, probably pushing himself a little bit too early, but like, you know, at the same time with the tone and everything of Kushibashi, He doesn't want to be seen as being weaker or whatever it may be. Even though, again, those that are close to him, or almost everybody that's close to him, would not blame him for taking more time. It's like you get in your own head. This like what others might be judging of you. We've all done this before. Call out of work sick, and like you think about what others are going to say about you, and then you find out no, they actually were saying worse things. You know what I mean? So, but that's just America. In other countries, I hope it's better. So, anyways, brother, help me. Live long, warlord.
He's lawful neutral, okay? He understands deep down. All right, this is the lawful thing to do.
I killed Mufasa. So anyways, you he kind of like you getting back to work.
Yep.
Getting back to work, he is you can see that he's pained, but you know, trying to like bite it down, choking it down, so on and so forth. The fact that he's pained, and everything, and you can also see he's having a bit of a harder time, because you know most advisors carry a degree of stuff to the different meetings, whether it be like a map based off what they're going to talk about, or a couple of parchments with notes or important details that are written, so on and so forth. And because he's only just lost his arm, you know what, at this point in time, a month and change ago, he's struggling to like remember to pick up papers the right way and so on and so forth. And so there's like one of the moments that you happen to notice is that there's like one of his secretaries that have been kind of assigned to him goes over and tries to collect it for him. And when they do so, you can see he like slams a fist down to like get their attention. It's like, you know, more or less tell them to stop. Like, I don't want the assistance. Almost trying to like, you know, prove himself. And the person kind of like gets all rigid or whatever next to them. And he's just like, apologize. I understand that you're just trying to assist me. The simple fact of the matter is, war is at our doorstep. Enemies are knocking. To the north, to the east, and to the west. We are only fortunate that we have Densho to the south, and even then, they come banging drums. Not at the call of their warlord, but nonetheless. I can't be looking to everybody else to do my tasks for me. Thank you. Which is like a very final stop to the person that's assisting. This is one of those like moments that you happen to see Tonscreet as he's trying to work through his own bull-headed Karuk nature and not wanting to take a, for lack of a better phrase, handout, while at the same time of struggling with his own, you know, he's going through a really fucking difficult time. You know what I mean?
Sure. I'll have a weird look on my face in that situation, and I'll wait for the room to clear, but it'll be like, Tonscreet, stay behind.
He nods, doing so. It's just a reminder to chat a couple of important character sheet notes about Tonscreet. He literally has a feat called Clan Personified, and we all know what Kushibashi is like. And he also has the Endurance feat. Like, he's student survivalist. Like, he's somebody that is all about this, like, individualism, so on and so forth. But anyways, go ahead, sir.
And once people clear the room, I'll look at him square in the eye. I'm like, am I weak, Tonscreet?
He looks at you and says, I think there are many that would answer that question that lie in shallow graves.
Okay. And when I delegate my tasks to my staff, does that make me weak, Tonscreet?
It's the difference between delegation, Warlord, and those...
Answer the question.
No.
Delegate your tasks. You are not a foot soldier.
Yes, Warlord.
Okay? Things have changed. The situation has changed. Find your axe beak, find a new advantage, and overcome it. Dismissed.
He will gather the things that, because the other person has already left at this point, right? He will gather up his supplies that one last time and walk out the room. After that, you see things are collected because he asks somebody to. Not because they are moving forward and doing so out of pity, but because it's a scenario where he is taking advantage of the assets he has around him instead of just being an ass and stubborn. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like how he is able to progress a bit as a character. Flash forward from that scenario to a couple days after that, right? Where you're starting to see this like progression happen and he's getting more comfortable doing it and not just like borderline rolling his eyes and biting his tongue each time or cheek, I should say, each time he asks somebody to do it. There'll be a scenario where the door to your chamber in the middle of a meeting comes bursting in. I can go to your map. Do you want to see the map of let me do that because chat's just staring at a boring map right now anyways. So
The map is cool.
so I believe you're nope, that's Dencho. You're over
I
here.
need a new advisor.
Yeah. And give me 1 second to set this up over here for me. I need to
Are
put
we
the
invited
appropriate
to your
people.
wedding, Nick?
What was that?
Are we invited to your wedding, Nick?
Of course.
It's good to know.
Naren likes you guys. I just think as clans, Dencho's the backwater jug blowers, and you guys are like the hippie liberals that have a commune. But it's nice. You guys make nice rugs. It's good.
We make nice weapons, okay? Sorry. Remember the naginata you got, it turns on fire? I wonder who made that.
Yes. You basically made me a nice lighter for my bong that I get from my forest weeds. Okay, it's good.
I imagine Karzug is no longer sitting like he used to be Tonscrit and Shallow or right adjacent to you or whatever. I don't think she's sitting at the end of the table with you, but I imagine she's sitting where Shallow used to, and Shallow's probably at this point sitting next to Tonscrit. I want you to sit next to your failings, sort of situation. Tora is still here. She didn't go storming out of your clan, and the other one wasn't replaced yet. All right,
I
so
don't know. It'd almost be worth it to have Shala have to stare at Ton Squeeds at the arm spot.
no, because he's missing his left arm, right? So she's sitting on his left side.
Good. Yeah. She'll have to pass things extra far.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's just the little petty things like that make it so savory, Anyways, so you somebody comes bursting in, and it's one of your scouts comes bursting in. Warlord, sorry for the intrusion, if I may.
Report.
Bloodied guards have appeared by the outpost. They're being seen to right now. They wanted to come and deliver a message because that's what was told of them, but it was decided that they needed to stay there and be bandaged up. That way, you can get a first-hand account and not have somebody die in your meeting hall. They're from oh fuck, I'm bad with names. 1 second. Ruin the moment, Scott.
Nice.
They're from Clan Vosk. Sir, if I may.
Report.
I don't think there is a Clan Vosk any longer.
Which one is
Vosk, like their vassal?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Is there any word of Hoko?
There was a delivery. There was a basket. I didn't look inside.
Oh, this is gonna be like some Seven shit, and I'm gonna have to get all Brad Pitt. I'm gonna have to kill a motherfucker in the desert.
Hoko!
Let's go.
Buddy, light spear.
He you stand up. Which of your advisors come with you?
Shala.
Shala? So Shala comes with
Aura
you?
would get up and look to you, and she says, Clan Vosk is also of interest to, he's also a
Yeah.
vassal to Densho.
Dencho has a responsibility.
Yeah.
Guys, this was Scott's plan, so he never had to set out the clan boss.
Exactly. This is exactly right.
Called out so hard.
Tanscreed, I want you, inshallah. Let's go.
They nod. They both immediately stand up, grabbing nothing, of course, at this point. I don't know if your clan has like a rule of weapons stay by the door, whatever it is. I imagine not. And because your people are all trained in them. And then you immediately, like, they grab whatever they need to, which is very little. And they walk out the door to head over to where the, like wherever it is that they would have met up with. You go over there and you meet the, you go over and meet up with the group of guards that are there. You go and you can already see, based off like the injured people that arrived, it looks as though 5 of them have arrived. You get informed along the way over that they didn't all arrive at once, that they kind of like filtered their way in. By the time you go in, where you see the 5 guards arrive, you already see 3 of them are not moving and have sheets covering them from head to toe, suggesting they already passed. Another one is wincing and like giving out cries in pain as they're trying to, you know, like stitch up the wounds that they have. I mean, just to get a quick look at them, though, you know, I don't think you're particularly good at medicine. You can already look at them and just knowing the wounds that they have, you'd be surprised if they survive, the next couple of days.
I'll give them a 2 HP health potion.
Okay. Immediately kind of like pull something and just like bring this to them. And that person will go over and give it to the person that's dressing the wounds to assist them. And then there's the one that's actually doing fine. I mean, they're missing an ear and have like a pretty nasty gash on their shoulder. But overall, like they actually are sitting up. They look shaken, but they're sitting up and they look stable, like relatively stable of body and mind. Again, relatively compared to, you know, dead and surgery. But anyway, so you go over and I imagine to speak to that one. I'll allow you to approach.
Yep. Soldier, roll call.
He nods. He says, like, you know, his name and the names of the others, saying the names of the deceased ones and so on and so forth, and says, there were 7 of us that fled. 2 died from arrows in the back. Well, I suppose 3 now. He says, looking over at a sheet-covered body. I think I'm going to be okay, though. Warlord Kushibashi.
It's good to hear. Who did this?
I wish I fully knew, but the attack came in the middle of the night. By the time the fires were lit and some of us awoke, there was already bodies and blood in the streets. They moved so quickly. So many of them just moved so quickly. They
on foot, or were they mounted?
They were mounted, Warlord.
Weapons, armaments.
As I said, they had bows with them, but they also bore at least weapons that they could use as they moved quickly. Some of them used long pikes as well. They were armored fairly well, though light, fairly well. I think the word is lamalier. Lamalier, I believe is what I saw. The fires lit up the battlefield well, but it didn't want to stick around too long. I apologize for my cowardice. The battle was already lost. To stay and fight would have just been another death. Is how he excuses his actions.
Oh, somebody had to report. I was told there's a basket.
He nods. He says, it was meant to bring to you.
I'll open it.
I can't remember the person's name, but it was like it was the one of the advisors that sat on the ruling council of Vosk.
Oh, not Hoku said? Thank God.
Not Hoko. But inside it,
Not
inside there
Roderick
with
either.
what?
Is one is not my guy either.
What is his name?
Roderick.
No, was not Roderick either. But inside of it was a notice.
Good.
Okay, so you open it up. It's bloodstained, of course, and it's got flies and whatnot on it. It has a smell to it. Like, let's be honest, travel all the way from Voss to here. It smells. It's gross. It's sticky. But you pick it up. You know what I mean? You open up the damn thing, and it says inside there, you will pay for each of them individually, or they will die. Sorry, you'll pay for each of them individually, or they will die. Send a negotiator to discuss terms, or we will know your terms.
Send a negotiator to Vosk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, they're
Sorry, I'll
exactly
go.
where you wanted them to be.
I'll look over at the Dentro Alliance. Tell Lord Varix it's time to call his armies. We need to go retake a city.
Corin nods and she'll set off herself.
I imagine she, of course, already has a kimono, or they're called kamamatori, to ride. Why wouldn't she, right? To ride or whatever, to head over that direction. Okay, Nick, what do you do?
I'm going to turn to Shala, and I'm going to say, I need you to infiltrate and try to release Hoko and the Densho representative. I could care less about the other councilman. I'll turn to Tanscreet and I'll say, I want to know exactly who these people are.
He nods. Obviously, his task is relatively easy, and so something that he can do. But she actually says, Warlord, I'll do it. But if this is a war camp, infiltration's not exactly an easy thing. It's not making your way into the markets and asking questions. Whoever we send, it's very likely they don't return. She's not saying it like arguing with you. She's not even saying it like she doesn't personally want to go. She's just making sure you understands the significance of it. That's all.
Let me take a look.
Mhm.
I'm going to pull out a crystal. I'm going to hand it to Shala, and I'm going to say, see Ryan, and ask him for anything to aid for deep infiltration into a military camp. Any enchantment that can be placed in this crystal.
She looks at the crystal and says, yes, sir. I'll see to it. And then we'll go. And then as because you only brought the two of them with you and Jake's character, correct?
Correct.
The person on the ground looks up to you and says, Warlord, I understand you're preparing for battle. But what of the terms? What of the ransom?
Those men's lives are already lost. There's no ransom in war. You know this.
He looks and he says, and of the citizens?
We will do our best to save them. Those are my citizens, my people.
Nods. I'm ready to march back to regain my honor.
Surviving the trip was honor enough. You need to recover and rest. Be ready for the next campaign that follows. Taking back our city is only a reaction.
nods, says, if you're certain, Warlord, because I'm willing to go.
That is my command.
Nods again. It's one of those things like, sense him out if you tell he's relieved, but trying to argue because it's like, no, I'll pay the bill, one of those things. So anyways, he nods and he'll actually he waits till you leave the room before he properly lies down. And anyways, so yeah. You what do you boys do?
I mean, I guess I get a message from Densho, right?
Oh, you know what they say.
Well, no, you never sent someone to message me.
They might.
So,
I would assume
Jake-
Naren would let them know, because I mean,
No one
I
lets
don't want to
Tessel
speak
know.
for him, but
You guys start marching.
yeah, I mean, if there's a call to war, we'll answer.
I mean, why would
And
they involve
it
you?
affects-
You had
it's
one.
the
You had
three
no
of us.
interest.
Well, I mean, I don't have a counselor with you anymore, so actually I don't know. I don't even know if I know I don't have a counselor with you at the moment.
You do. You saw him get fucked.
We can answer that in a moment.
I have a new one coming. He'll actually meet you on our campaign.
Oh yeah,
Never mind.
did he poison Ina?
What?
So I don't even know if Ina made it home safely,
Deal with that in a minute.
or did
So
we cover that last time?
we didn't.
We Densho, we escorted her back.
Yeah, she got back. You just didn't do anything on screen.
But so we can cover that return in a minute. But so you you boys raising armies?
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
Sell as well.
I mean, I'm assuming
I-
I'm being told at some point here. Okay.
So Sel, if you're
Yeah,
gonna raise an army, you'd be doing so a week after them, which isn't bad. That also means that you might end up spending less money than them because of how long it takes for word to get to you.
Oh. Okay. I mean, I don't really got a choice, right? We're going to war.
Yeah, but you start a week behind. But it's not because your clan reacts slowly or anything like that. Unless it depends. Because let me go to the map real quick. Let me do this way, and then
Well,
we
this
can
is
make
good.
logical
It'll take the mind of Naito. It'll take his mind off of his life being a potential enemy of the state.
So if you look at
His-
where this took
wedding.
place, Nick's capital, and you look at where you have your closest camp, I mean, this is. Thank you.
12 hexes. That's like
That's
2 days.
no. 12 hexes is not 2 days.
Sorry,
But
I meant like 6 days.
that's like a week.
Yeah, but not if they're on a combatory.
And then you also have to prep them and march back.
Well, marching back here is gonna take a while. I have -1 speed because I'm in heavy armor.
But
My
yeah,
people move slow.
it would also be to here. I'm talking about to get word to your soldiers so they can start getting ready. Still 11 hexes.
Oh, the soldiers are they're located like
Even if you
across the
removed one,
place.
make it 10. Either way. So what are y'all? So you guys are preparing what armies? Talk to me. Or at least you
Oh.
want to start looking at your numbers. And Nick, to go
Yeah.
back to you with the return of that person, when they returned to you, they actually went back with Clan Densho and stayed with them for a little while. Like a little while. Enjoyed being with Clan Densho, got to know them, worked with the Kushibashi advisors of Clan Densho, kind of got some news, so on and so forth, kind of caught up on things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They didn't go rushing back to Kushibashi because, again, it's one of those things where, technically speaking, they're breaking orders to go back there, so it wasn't like a rush to get in trouble. But eventually, they finish up whatever leave, if you will, they took, and they report back to inform you that they left for a good reason and what that reason is. So we can kind of go into that RP if you care to, even though you often were the one that roleplayed that character, and they inform you of what it is. How would your character react to them and what they say, why they said?
My response would be, while leaving your post wasn't ideal, I wouldn't have wanted that information in a message. It's good to know that Tessel's clan is not a clan of one. And as far as Naren's concerned, all he did is create multiple points of failure in his command chain. That's just how he views it. I'm not, I'm a dictator. So
Yeah, no, it's a very reasonable thing, Naren, to think, right?
So, and his opinion of Clan Shadow is that they have individuals that are strong, but their society in general is kind of weak, and they're just fortunate to be mineral rich. And it's, he has a vested interest in maintaining the alliance because A, they're a mineral rich neighbor, and B, they have strong individuals that can lead small armies. And in the South, we need as many allies as we can. And it's not in character for your nation to stab us in the back. So we will continue to foster that alliance, but also know that you're probably going to get blindsided by internal conflict at some point.
I mean, are you saying? You're just talking to your advisor, or
Yeah. It's kind of
Yes.
like, well,
Yeah.
it's kind of like,
Yeah.
but also with your own advisors and their
Yeah.
opinions of the matter. And because Densho's advisor's not here, he could speak a bit more freely about this sort of situation.
That said, he's going to go trade places with the advisor at Densho, and Densho is going to get sent to Clan Shadow.
Really? So you're gonna have you're gonna have Koshi or Kyoshi is gonna go to
Yeah.
Clan. Now, isn't Kyoshi also like a bit more brutal?
No, Kiyoshi's he's a little more obnoxious, but he's that liberal party guy. Like, whatever, just send me to the bar, I'm fine.
Okay.
And he makes fun of Denchos for just not taking baths because they're, dirty hicks.
I remember that.
They're from Louisiana.
Yeah.
I'd say Oklahoma because it's also accurate there, but Keegan's in chat and we don't want to offend him.
Oh, we can.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So, so Ina's like a real Frenchman in Louisiana. So that's what that's going to be like. And Kiyoshi's going to be, somebody there from Mardi Gras. Going to shit him.
So,
Screw that guy.
So anyways, yeah, you
I'm not feeling the love, Keegan. Thanks.
So you're gonna more or less just switch them, keep the same advisors.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Did you boys look at the kind of armies you want to raise, like what you're gonna send out? That costs a little bit of money to make it happen.
I mean, we can't. It's whatever armies we have on reserve there. You can't just make a new army to come up. It takes.
Correct. And to wake them up off reserve costs what, a BP or whatever it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was that Scott was like, Nick got some BP. He got some BP from making some Commodore deal. I need to take that away from him. Let's make him raise an army.
My army. I got
forever
the
poor.
steel. I got the steel wall of Shadow. It's an army that's equipped with heavy armor, superior weapons, ranged weapons. They live off the land with General Naito, and they have shields. They have 24 DV. They have 12 OM, both melee and attack, melee and ranged. 18 initiative, which might be a little higher now. I have to check. 12 morale. Got a couple abilities, as in one, which is cautious combat to increase my morale, lowering OM, which I don't really use often.
So, to go back a step, Nick, your army can obviously be raised the fastest. You have the information immediately. Jake will be a couple days behind that, and Cell a couple days behind that even further. Nick, you can also get there the fastest because of proximity. Literally the closest hexes, if you're counting, you're 4 hexes away going over 2 hills, but you don't even have to, I think, if you... Still 4 hexes away going over 1 hill. Jake is 5 away going over 1 hill, and Cell is 6 away, no hills, right? So, or at least he doesn't think any hills. So that being said, like, you can not only do you have the information the earliest, you can raise the fastest, can travel the fastest, so on and so forth. I imagine you're also not just like jumping in there alone. You're gonna like want to wait a couple extra days for Jake's army to join you, and then hopefully you have the additional assistance of Sel's army joining you sometime after that as well. So, what is your first of all? How big is the army that you're raising, and what is your tactic early on waiting for Jake to join you?
So my army is, I'll probably take, because I have 2 active armies, and one I normally have Zara lead, and I had a smaller one I was leading. I'll probably take control of hers, because she has the 50-person unit. And that'll be it. I only have a small army, so unless I have time to actually raise another army, that's it, or to increase my numbers.
So how big is it? How many people is it again?
50.
50 people's still a pretty decent size. Like, let's not scoff at that,
And that's
right?
that is mounted with pole arms with bows.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, they are pretty damn well put together as well. So again, you can't scoff at what the army is capable of doing or whatever, right? So that being said, you're gonna bring them in. Obviously, you're gonna be able to get there the earliest. You're not just gonna be putting your thumb inside of your bum and wiggling it around, waiting for Jake. I imagine you're gonna like move in first. You're probably just not charging in blindly. So that being said, what are you doing?
I'm basically sealing off the city.
So you're like heading to one of the hills, or?
Yeah. Let me look at the map real quick. I've been meaning to put a tower there too. I'll probably position myself at my second city until we get word that Jake is marching.
You probably position yourself where?
At what's the name of it? Down to Shinrotar. So basically, I'm gonna activate my army at Shinrotar. So I'm sitting at this city.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, then you're even closer. That's 1, 2, 3. Gotcha.
Yeah, and then it's just right up to get to the hill, grab the high ground, and then charge.
Okay, cool.
And that way I can also see if this attack is coming from these guys up here instead of here, because I still don't have a firm answer of who invaded.
Sure. So you're very easily able to get your army started, and you can pay the BP or whatever to get it started. We'll cover that in the next session, and come down to this area to investigate the scenario. Actually, you obviously have who your leader is of that army and the size of the army. You have all those stats on your Kushibashi character sheet, right?
Yep.
Could you go ahead and roll me your perception check or whatever it's called off of that sheet's modifier? Si, senor.
No, yeah, I don't know if Nick is like blanking on who this is or not, in game or in real life.
For what?
And it could be, a dude that you're trying to hunt down, known for delivering heads in baskets.
It very well could be the mongrel, but which tab was that on? Commander, armies, or military?
So commander is literally your commander. Armies is literally your armies. Military should be the combination of the two. So I go to Kushibashi and I look at your tabs, which I don't think I can.
Perception is just the general's perception, isn't it?
No, it's actually, well, if you look at, again, military, it'll show you the combination. So when you choose who your army and who your commander is, so if you have, this is saying commander's Narin, and the armies...
yeah, I just changed it to Narin.
Okay.
So.
Is it going to be Narin that's actually bringing them?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're bringing which army? The just
50
the
unit.
50, yeah. So Zara's staying behind.
Oh, cool.
So if it's Narin that's actually leading the army, which is fine, of course, he can overtake pretty much any army. As can, what's her name? You can see your perception check with them is scouting. It's a 0.
Gotcha.
Yep.
I don't know if that's accurate or not, for sure.
It should be.
I don't.
Okay, all right.
Perception is a number you have to fill in manually.
It's a number you
It's
fill
not-
in under the actual armies
Yeah,
or
and the-
what you call it tab. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like a auto-calculated number. I'm pretty sure it's just the commander's perception.
Give me 2 seconds. I can confirm that for you.
Or it's like the scouting modifier.
It's the scouting thing, and so scouting, it's actually round down C7 divided by 4. And C7 is perception, which is a number that's actually filled in. But that would make sense that it's that number. Because it's
Yeah,
supposed
it's
to be,
The commander's perception.
if you actually look at the army stats, it might be based off of commander's perception. You have to give me 2 seconds now, because
Yeah.
you actually just closed that book a minute ago. I think it's
I mean,
in
I
the
don't
Ultimate
see-
War.
Yeah, I think so. I'll check as well.
It was
that's
also
the only thing I
Ultimate
can-
Battle. Give me 1 second, Nick. I'll get this answer for you. I think I just usually find it quicker
No
under
problem.
Ultimate War. So, conservation, So it's sign leader, morale, scouting. A unit's ability to notice armies is reflected on the scouting store. This bonus is equal to the perception modifier of the creatures in the unit divided by 4 plus the leadership bonus of its commander. So Nick's leadership bonus should be added into that.
I think it needs to go up too, because I don't think I raised it.
So the average soldier, whatever they are, usually their score is going to be less than, like if you look at an average first level warrior or whatever, second level warrior NPC, they don't have greater than a +4 or greater. So it's going to be a 0. You round down. If it's a 3, 2, 1 or negative, it's right. So cool. It's a 0. But then if you look at the commander, who is Naren, Naren's leadership bonus is looks like, no, it's Karzug. Naren's leadership bonus is a fucking 8.
And I think that went up 1 from this past level.
So
I could be wrong.
scouting, it specifically says this bonus equal to the plus the LB of the commander. So for some reason your scouting is not including your LB, which is weird.
8.
So we got a military over here. Your scouting modifier should be, let me just look at the way it's written. All that, if and then we also do plus, oh shit. Okay, that's fine. Plus this. Oh, no, shit. Plus, trying to edit this out, protect the cell spreadsheet owner. Oh, contact spreadsheet owner because I think it was written by Scott and not by Daelric. It's annoying. Give me a second. I made it
What
so
are you
nobody else
looking
could screw up the sheets. So I'm just editing it right now because only I can write on it for good
The
reason.
data?
Huh?
The data sheet.
Yeah. I did it for a reason because other people are screwing it up.
Makes sense. Probably me.
Oh no, not you guys. It's something that I dealt with at work. I would make spreadsheets and people would break them. I get angry. It's funny. It's almost like it's not letting Scott write them.
What are you trying to write?
Literally plus what is this?
The scouting bonus?
F4.
And military scouting.
Legit won't let me. I have to unprotect the whole cell first before I can.
I think that also part of the problem is that scouting is in the army.
No, Sal, you gotta take a back step. You look at the military tab where it says scouting. All that stuff that's
Yeah.
written in there is supposed to have plus F4 at the end.
I see.
Because that's the combination of the two. Yeah, there you go. It's just you have to unprotect that cell to deal with it. And it's not something I care about dealing with right now when we're at the tail end of the session.
Yeah, that's fine.
You know what I mean?
We'll just remember it for next time.
It says protect range. What's funny is this side not protected?
I don't see the
That's
leadership
hilarious.
modifier.
Army 2 allows me to write it, but Army 1
I mean,
does not.
I added my leadership bonus to my scouting.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I can just
You're
change
talking
this.
about adding leadership bonus to scouting, right? I just added thens.
I wonder if Nick is the owner of this sheet, and that's why.
I might be.
I'm the owner of my sheet.
That's probably why you guys own your own sheets and shared them to me. That's probably
Interesting.
exactly why. So Nick has to add plus F4 to the end of his scouting thing.
He just didn't give
Gotcha.
you editor access with a share link.
Maybe.
Which is fine. I'm fine with that. If he's able to add, yep, he did it. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, now it's
One
in
thing
there.
I want to do before we completely end is,
Yep.
Nick, you'll get a rider who pretty much just relays a message that says that Clan Densho is mobilizing, but if we are dealing with the, I don't know, whatever his name is, I can't remember, what do we call him?
Red mongrel.
The
The Red
mongrel.
Mongrel. This may be a tactic to lure us out while they hit our cities, and that we should send Shadow to watch our back.
We can send the message.
Did you send the message of the Shadow as well when you sent that message?
Of course.
Okay.
I've already informed Clan Kushibashi that you're watching my back.
Yeah, like otherwise it would have been like, okay, then we wait for the messenger to come back, and then you. Send
No,
the
they would have
messenger.
went out at the same time. It was more of just letting them know, like, Densho are mobilizing, but Varric suspects this is just a tactic to lure us out while they hit our cities.
So
Where are
couple things. First of all, Shadow responds saying, "I've got your back." And then secondly, Shadow, how do you handle this army wise?
Because if the issue is I'm the most vulnerable no matter where I go. But theoretically, how far, like, this hill is above everything in this region, right? So theoretically, if I had an army here, how far could I see?
Usually hills, if you have a structure on a hill, it gives you what?
1.5?
well, so a hill usually gives you 1.5, yeah.
So yeah, but that's pretty.
Oh no, that's right. A typical cell only gives you half a cell. Has a half a hex. That gives you a whole hex, and when you put like a something on top of it, it gives you 1.5. If you had an actual like a fortress or whatever it is, it gives you so much more. Like if you look at the bottom, you can see Jake's eyes. Like if you're, I don't know if you're seeing on stream or whatnot, but if you're looking like down here, that can see so much further because he actually has a fortress over there or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would bring my army to this hill, and I would have like scouts all over like the northern reaches, right? Like 3, 4, 5 bands of people just like ready to scout out where people are coming from to watch the north.
So how would you break up your armies? Like what so how many armies do you have that you can summon?
I mean, is it like one army, right? And then I can have like just scouts, right? Is that like, do I have to make a 5-person army if I want to just have like a couple people searching in there, like
Dude,
watching the area?
you can't raise whole new armies. You can, for a quick
Well,
fire
that's-
like this,
that-
you can.
Well,
But
that's my
yes, you
point,
could
like-
have one army spread out.
Yeah, right. I have the bulk of the troops here, and then people just watching the north because I don't want like an army to run
Yes.
into the city.
Yes. You
And
can
I
do
just,
that.
like people to the watchtowers.
But
or
you're
whatever,
only
right?
getting one army active, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm not saying. I don't want.
I'm just
more than
confirming
one
that. How big of an
Yeah.
army?
At my 100 size. That's all I have.
Okay. So that's what you're looking to do. But what about Kushibashi?
So I have a second 10-person army that's going to stay behind. They're small, but they'll be able to notify me if anything's going on.
Okay. So we have until next week to find out what's going on with this. Is Hoko alive or dead?
He's
Is this a
alive right now.
tactic to lure you out of your home? Or are they still there? Or both, or neither? You know, what is happening here? What is the situation? Oh, it's wintertime. Yay.
You know what's funny?
And also
My
after
wall
this
is
is
to the
resolved, also after this is resolved, our we're gonna do Kingdom rolls next week.
Yeah, we'll hit December. Or do December rolls.
Yeah. Which is exciting. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. We got important stuff out of the way. I'm happy. I hope you're happy. Anybody have anything important to say before we bounce?
Yeah, on Wednesday nights at 8:30-ish p.m. Play on Tantus' channel at twitch.tv/the Dracrovian Empire. I cannot spell it. It's too long. If LD can grab a link if he's still here, that'd be very cool. Yeah, play there, put pirates, Pathfinder, some cool stuff.
What day of the week is that?
Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. So if you're not watching Lost Initiative, give something else a try, I guess.
No, it's cool.
Yeah, yeah, all I can think of.
Heads up, everybody. I am not streaming this upcoming Wednesday morning. I have to go to work several hours early. So I won't be streaming Wednesday morning. I will be streaming Wednesday night, though potentially starting a little bit late. Thursday night, I will be over on Doxy's channel. Friday night, I intended to stream. Last week was canceled because those losers wanted to, I guess, go to Halloween parties Friday, 2 days prior to Halloween or some crap. But so we didn't play last week. But this week I can't play because even though I expected to, and I expected to drive up to Maine Saturday morning for Eric's bachelor party, apparently I'm driving up there Friday evening. So we all seen what happened when I tried to stream from Maine. It doesn't work. So I'll be up there for Eric's bachelor party starting Friday evening. So I apparently have to cancel Regicide for that. So I do apologize. It wasn't anticipated. It was something I had realized, I think yesterday or the day prior. Came to this realization. It sucks because we had to cancel last week because they wanted to do Halloween stuff. And then before that, the session was more or less just like, why are we chasing our tails still? So hopefully we'll get back to plot over in that game. That Thursday campaign is pretty fun. It's short-lived though. It's meant to be 6 sessions. So one of those weeks we're going to be skipping because of Thanksgiving. And I think like the last week is like the week after Thanksgiving or some shit. And then like I don't have time for campaigning beyond that. Like I need to, like I'll be fucking busy until after Eric's wedding in January. So like mid-January. And even then I have court duty. So till at least mid-January I'll be fucking busy. So that that campaign is intended to be a very short one. I can't let it really go on. So all right. Yeah, give RC, what was it, like 5 Fortune's favors just to get them out, and they were just like, I'm gonna poke a dead body and toot. All right, so anyways, cool. I think it's everything everybody has to say. So should we end this? Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh, and if you haven't already, or if you haven't heard of it yet, make sure that you what is it, by Arcanist Incorporated. It's called Schism, and I think if you type Schism, it pops up in chat, unless that was their old one. Yeah, go to that. That has the link for their Kickstarter. Please support the Kickstarter so it actually gets funded and started. I went all in on supporting this. I want it to be supported so it can actually get made. That'd be great. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Gotta find somebody to raid.
Who is there to raid?
I see somebody. I think he's also afraid of Tantus and Josh and whatnot. So let's go say hi. And bye-bye.